Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you want to call this. Welcome to the Toon Review's Watchalong special today. Newcastle United versus Liverpool at St James's Park. Firstly, of course, there's some really sad news to report today. I'm sure you're all aware of it already, but the body of Christian Atsu was found in the wreckage of that building in Turkey today. There is Christian. Served the club with great kind of skills and commitment to the club while he was here. Played for us in the promotion season, obviously, at the Rafa. And just a really thoroughable, likeable man by all accounts. So rest in peace, Christian. You'll be sadly missed. Just a tragic thing. And the second thing, of course, it would have been the great man, Sir Bobby Robson's 90th birthday today. Big celebration going on at the ground today with the war flags, but here he is. When he was announced as Newcastle manager with his boyhood club, lots of people there to welcome him, and what a great manager he was for Newcastle United. Took us from the depths of the Premier League, Champions League football in such a quick space of time. Some say that Mr. Eddie Howe is on a similar kind of track to Sir Bobby. But Bobby, of course, in the game for decades as a player with Fulham, West Brom, managed Fulham too. Ipswich Town, where he did a great job, and England, of course, and then applied his trade abroad before coming back to his boyhood club. Just a wonderful gentleman, wonderful man. No one has a bad word to say about him. And happy heavenly birthday to Bobby. You know, we're all kind of, you're in all of our hearts, and you always will be. That's all that done with. We also have team news also, which is also quite a strange selection here. Obviously, Eddie's gone with this. He's gone with a more system than players, I think. I believe it's fair to say. Elliot Anderson comes in for the injured Joe Willock. So he stick with that 4-3-3 with Sean Longstaff in the 6, or potentially Joe Linton, depending on how they do it. The team is Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier captain at right back, Sharon Botman, Dan Burn, the usual back five, and Nick Pope, of course. Sean Longstaff just sat in front, Joe Linton to the left. I'm assuming, because I think protection for Max with Maxi for Burn. I'm assuming Joe Linton was rolled with that. Ellie Anderson on the right of the midfield, and then on the right flank, Almiron on the left flank, Maxi and Isaac up front. Callum Wilson is fit enough for the bench, where he's joined by Anthony Gordon, and then three fullbacks. Strangely enough, Dummett, Lewis, and Manquillo, Murphy, Ritchie, Lascelles, and Dubravka. Liverpool lineup. Well, the captain's back, Van Dijk. That's obviously strengthened the back four somewhat. So their lineup is Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, Andy Robertson left back, Gomez and Van Dijk in the middle of the defence, Fabinho, Bajcetic and Henderson in the middle of the park, Nunez, Salah and Gakpo as their front three. Will be an interesting matchup there. We'll do some comments, shall we? Let's go right to the top of the page and see what we've got here. We'll have a report from Tom Lynch somewhere along the line, but the first person today was Sea Dragon Leviathan. He says Toon, and he says it 3 times. Clarky also says Toon. Carlos, of course, echoing sentiments about Christian there. RIP Christian Atsu, and the same for Stu. Clarky has to score to start. He's not. He's on the bench. Anderson's in. Hello, Michael. I hope you're well. Anderson starts, yet, and Isaac and Maxi played 2. And here's Tom Lynch reporting from outside the ground as always. Here he is. Good afternoon, everyone. From James's. Hopefully, a lively atmosphere ahead of next week. Remembering Sir Bobby Robson and paying our respects to Christian Atsu. We owe these. However, we do owe these. And in the box at St James's Park, I'm pleased to say, the commentary box, in the punditry box, is Mr. Rafa Benitez, making possibly his first return to St James's since he left in such acrimony under Mike Ashley. But there you go. Nice to see him back. No tie, no glasses in top pocket. But he looks like he's aged a little bit. Football Matters FC says RIP to Atsu. Ian A says, why am I nervous? Well, because it's a big game, and Liverpool, despite their league table position, are a very good side, and it could be a hard game for us tonight. However, we shall see. There's Tom on the lineup for us. He always posts it in. Fair play to you, Tom. Thank you very much. Football Matters FC says Newcastle smiled but after Liverpool's late win at Anfield. Let's hope the Toon get revenge tonight. Well, we can hope so. Of course, Alexander Isak was the catalyst to that with that fantastic goal and one. It should have been allowed also, but unfortunately his shadow had strayed into an offside position. Then there's a subs from Tom. And Football Matters FC says smash the likes, and that's where we start there. Yeah, thumbs up. It's dead easy. Just click that thumbs up. Doesn't cost you a penny, but it does help the channel because it rises us in the search engines and up the lists for like-minded fans to see. Also, if you like what you see, if you're new to the channel, we haven't already done this, hit the subscribe button. It's also free to do so, and it means you join this fantastic community at the Toon Review. If you want to go further than that and become a member of the channel, you can hit the join button, and it'll take you to a payment table where you pay a certain amount each month to become eligible for prizes in our prize draws and things like that. And super chats are also available. Click on the $sign, contribute if you like to the channel. Everything's gratefully received and accepted, and we generally get quite a few of those during the game also. So there you go. Football Matters FC says, come on, Newcastle, do the business. Indeed. Jock says, Chris Wood has just scored. He has. He scored an equaliser for Notts Forest against Man City, strangely enough. After being on the back foot for the whole game virtually. I watched a bit of that, actually. Haaland's open goal miss. Sonny's in my fit dream team. Happy birthday to Bobby, says Stu. Indeed. He's gone for what would we buy Woods to hero at Forest? Well, yeah, cost us 10 million to do so. Good evening, Marius. Hope you're well. Jack's here also. Jack, I just said hi, Jack. RIP actually, great servant to the club and rest in peace, absolutely. Toon Gamers here. Not starting Gordon is a mistake, he thinks, but you still have enough to win and Anderson's time to shine. Well, we'll see. Anderson and what his potential, can he bring it to the game today? Currently, Mr. St. Maximan's been interviewed, and I think he's going to be kind of pivotal role today because, well, we saw what he did to Kyle Walker, and Trent plays in exactly the same way, really, stepping into the midfield. Could be Max's time too. Afternoon, Samantha. Hope you're well. Toon Gamer, Chris Wood scored exactly. Yeah, he did. Chris Kujarski says Anderson must have had a hell of a week in training. Let's see what he can do with the start. Well, it's his first real one in the Premier League. I know he's played in cup games and stuff, and little cameos here and there as sub, but we all think he's a good player. Let's see if he can do something today. Let's just hope he can. Scouts Malcolm's one said up. They did. Afternoon to Julie J. Brian's nervous as F, but Elliot Anderson on. He likes that. Yes, it's a gamble, but if you're good enough, you're old enough. That's why you're old enough. You're good enough, whichever way around it's supposed to be. But we shall see. But he says, hello, Toon fans. Let's freaking have them. Away the lads. Ian A says, Max's chance to prove himself again. Yes, Elliot is playing. Hoping as well, says Sean. Let's smash the Scousers up and down at St James's Park. Liam says, let's dispose of Liverpool. We want revenge, says Julie. We do. Evening, Billy. I was here bang on time, Ian. I'll have you know. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Pedro's here also. Good afternoon, Billy Mods in chat. Hope everyone is well. Everyone is well. Everyone's looking forward to a big game. And currently, there's a bit of a tribute to Christian Atsu on the screen, which is it's kind of emotional to watch. But there you go. Jock saying hello, cheers. They say I was never going to miss this one. Tuesday nights are the worst ones for me to wake up for. I don't know why, but they are. Daniel Bowditch here. Bonjour to you too. Here's Fez. He's one of the mods. Remember to keep comments respectful, not post spoilers. Wait until the host has reacted to any big moments in the game before you discuss in the chat. Thanks and enjoy the show. And also, add to that, please do not ask for links. The mods will time you out for that also. So there you go. Afternoon to Phil. Hope you're well. Yes, I was bang on time. Settle my nerves, please. Well, it's only the 11 on the pitch can do that, mate, and it'll be good. I'm sure. NUFC BM says, do I collect football cards? That's a strange kind of question. Many years ago I did, but not anymore. Hello, Billy. Everyone says, Pedro. Yeah, heartbreaking for Atsu. Lots of people paying respects to Christian Atsu. Tony Hunter's here in the chat. Hope you're well. Who else we got that's new? Here we go. Call me Swift's in. RP Atsu, heartbreaking news. It is. It's just, and even though we were kind of expecting it, I guess it still kind of tugs the heartstrings, doesn't it? Dominic's here. Atsu, here's looking at you, kid. Absolutely. Brian Amix in the house also. And Trulls is. Hi, Trulls. Hope you're well, mate. And yeah, it's a very sad day for Newcastle United and all the other clubs, of course, he played for. Brian Amix is here. 20 minutes till kickoff. Stu says, yo, Trulls, can he, mate? How you are too? Everyone saying hello to each other. And here's Rachel, and she's going to give a more detailed explanation. Hi, everyone. Usual reply, most importantly, no spoilers. Wait for Billy to comment. Don't ruin it for those who are just watching this and not the match. Enjoy the show and away the lads. There you go. So you've been told there's plenty of had plenty of prior warning. Just behave in the chat, and everything will go smoothly. And 3 points as well would be great. Chinglish is here. Rest in peace, Atsu. Ken's also here. How Billy Housing, mate. Hope the voice holds for screaming out for the 3 goals we scored today. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I want to try and save a few for next week, though, if you know what I mean. Ian Fleming also paying his respect to Christian. Julie J says more or less what we expect, except for Gordon bench. Well, he's playing for system, isn't he? I think if he'd have played the 4-2-3-1, he would have played Gordon. However, with that more attacking lineup, really, despite Gordon not being in it, it's a more attacking system, and Anderson's the man for that job. According to Eddie Howe, and who are we to disagree? Carl's here. Chinglish says big chance for Anderson. This it is. Geordie Hawayman's here. Boards don't hit back. Gordon will be super sub. Well, into the 12th minute of injury time at Stamford Bridge. David Veach checking the post. Well, no, you see, Cesar Azpilicueta got a really serious facial injury. He was carried off with a neck brace, oxygen. He caught the boot off an overhead kick, smashing the face, but from Seko Mara. And they were worried for quite a time, so that's where the injury times come from in that game. So nothing corrupts, David, although, you know, it's pretty, yeah, oh dear, I didn't press me mute on my phone. What a total NOB head. So I'm going to do that now. So we're not interrupted anymore. Do apologise. Expecting to see some shithousery this evening, says Julie. Well, from both teams. And there's my mate on the telly. Him. There you go. KBN UFC over there in Belfast. Good afternoon, Billy. Happy birthday to Bobby, and deepest sympathy to the Atsu family. He thinks 2-0 to the Toon. Come on, away the lads. Yeah, lots of positive kind of thoughts today, isn't there, on the actual result. It's a tough game. So Eddie making his interview. Obviously, going to have much more decorum than the previous occupant of that interview spot. But there you go. Ken says, Billy's so sad about Christian, but can we all remember and pray for the other 40,000? Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a massive, massive tragedy. It's hard to actually comprehend. And I know your daughter's over there doing some sterling work with the poor people over there, mate, and the people that have been left destitute and also have lost friends, family, whatever. It's a shocking situation, real tragedy. Yeah, but hopefully we can get some kind of enjoyment out of the game today. Well, it's not criminal; it's an injury, mate. It's a very, very serious injury from on Cesar Azpilicueta. I wish people would kind of, yeah. Into traders here. I want Billy Mods and all in the chat. All good results for us. Yeah, it has been a good day so far, hasn't it? Man City drawing. Brighton, did they lose? I think they lost in the end, didn't they? Yeah, it's all been good. So far, so good. If we can just do ourselves a favour, we'll be okay today. Peel O'Keefe says 2-1 to us. Hello, hope you're well, Keith. Yeah, Carl says Chelsea have lost now. At home, Southampton, that's a poor result for them. Mr. Potter will be under some pressure, I would think. They spent zillions of pounds in the transfer window. They're not expecting to get beaten home by a team that was bottom 3 in the table. With Southampton even at the bottom, they may well have been. But they weren't expecting that with all that money spent. Judy J says, nicely, Rafa back. Of course, Chinglish will have a bad word to say about Rafa. He sold Mitrovic peanuts. He won't ever forgive that. Oh, dear me. Absolutely not true. So there's a serious bad. Yeah, they spent lots of money on world-class players, and unfortunately, Mr. Potter, it's a bit different to managing Brighton to Chelsea, isn't it? It's obviously a bit proof of the pudding in the results they're getting. John Elliott says, "Come on, lads, 2-1 winning this special Bobby's day." Absolutely. Bernard wishes he was there. Hanoi says, "What a sad day it is today. Let's hope we pull this one off and send Klopp's teeth into overdrive." Well, they're here somewhere. They're already here, look. Julie agrees that selling Mitro is a mistake. Drawn more than we've won, lots of 2 points. There have been, Martin. But remember last time this happened, we went then on a run of wins. Let's hope we can do it again. I can remember saying kind of 4 or 5 games in that we only won 1 game, lost 1 and drew the other 4 or 5. It was or 3 or 4, whatever it was at the time. But then we went on a nice run where we started winning games. So, Siam English, evening guys. Stanley Alvis checking in. Here's to getting our own back on Liverpool. I love the Toon review so much. Respect. Cheers, mate. Very much appreciated. Samson Knights in the house. Hope you're well, mate. Dummett Lewis Rich on the bench shows how thin the squad is. Yeah, it does. Manquillo too, actually, but could have played Manquillo, couldn't he? Left back. He did well against Man United last year in that role. There you go. Tools is very nervous. Geordie says, please for any last minute equalisers. And yes, Naki Wells. Naki Wells. Good old Naki Wells. I've explained that. Yeah, really serious injury to Aspilicueta. Possibility to English. Yeah, he's the owners at Chelsea haven't spent all that money for these kind of results, have they? Chelsea full of stars, no idea. They've probably got too many. Probably got too many of them. Paul Hodges said, "Good luck, Newcastle." Thank you, Paul. Mr. Superfly has done, liked, or whatever, or subscribed, or one of the two. I don't know what he's done, but he's done something, which is good. We're all happy. Bernard says we can do it. Hanoi says, "I'll take it. You're not even about that." Rafa on Sky. Yes, we've just seen him. David giving Elliot Anderson some encouragement, and we all shall from even at the pitch there. Be a good atmosphere playing today as well. 52,000 fans there, mostly Newcastle fans, obviously. On today as well, Sir Bobby's birthday. It's going to be a massive atmosphere in it today. The War Flags have got a massive display planned. Looking forward to having a quick look at that in a minute when it decides to come off the adverts. And of course, it's the start of Cup Final week. He could actually play himself into the side for Wembley, couldn't he? Let's be honest about it. If he has a great game, he could be on his way to a Cup Final. Massive incentives for Elliot to do something special today. There you go. Mick says, "Hey, Billy, chat and mods. Don't care how we win as long as we win." Well, exactly. Over the moon for him getting wood. Yes, says Brian. Big Dave Francis says, Mr. Superfly, very surprised with the call up to the first team. Well, he's going with system, isn't he? Rather than, he likes that 4-3-3. He obviously gives Burn a bit more protection. So this is why he's doing it. Blunt Drop 07, did you see Aspilicueta get knocked out? Yeah, he took the boot after an overhead kick right in the mush, didn't he? Oh, looked a bit iffy for Liverpool, I've got to say. Joel Malmins joined us. Chelsea loses again. City drawing, and Arsenal somehow managing to get a win. It's been an interesting game. Good game of football, though, the Villa Arsenal game, wasn't it? Very good game of football. Really enjoyed it, especially the end of it when the goalkeeper kind of nothing he could do about it. He was beaten by a shot, rocketed off the post into the back of his head into the net. But yeah, there you go. Could put Gordon on. Well, Gordon could come on anytime. It can be an impact sub. It depends on how it's going, I guess. Rogers, we have options on the bench too, but still. Well, we've got Wilson. I can guarantee you now that Wilson, Gordon, and Murphy will come on at some stage. Guarantee it. Ian says, "Come on, Anderson, lad. Let's smash the Scouse Twockers." We've got a Danny Gold channel, Alexander Isak. There you go. Barbara's in here too. Hi, Barbara. Chelsea lose again. They have. Hanoi and Jock are having a bit of banter in the chat. Let's hope it will be clippity clop for Jurgen, says Bernard. We are 10 minutes from kickoff. And I guess I better make a banner, hadn't I? Obviously, there's no clock here. I might, because Paul has a different studio line up for his streams when he does the commentary. He doesn't go through what this system I'm using now. He goes through different ones just for games, and for his daily news shows also. So there'll be no clock, but I will keep you in kind of informed time quite a lot. And I'll have a banner. We've got lots of bottom of the screen with the score on. Stu says, away the lads, just hope we play well, whatever the result. To be fair, St James's is a fortress once again, and our defence rock solid. We can beat this Liverpool team, and we should have won at Anfield. We should have. Hoping the chat behaves, Rachel. Was a bit crazy on the live match, says Geordie Wayman. Indeed it is. Judy says, I hope the Listerine donkey gets sent off on the touchline. James Welsh is here. Brian says it's Tiger on the bench. He's not. Lasfar H says, Liverpool getting smashed today. Come on. Yep. Let's hope so. We don't want revenge. We want justice. R.I.P. Christian Atsu, says Neil. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's a sad, sad day. And Viva Vendetta echoes that also. So sad about Atsu, the earthquake. It's a massive, massive tragedy. It really is. Mal the Grinch is here. Even all the way there, let's get a much-needed win. Dynamic Detail. Ing is also here. Afternoon, Billy. Thanks for advance day. Not a problem. Gareth Cooper's also joined us, and so has Porky Street's Henderson. Even if one, this is the big one. Away the lads. Matt Fletcher's joined us from a long, long way away down under in Australia. Hi, Billy Chats and Mod Squad from another early Sunday morning down under. Did anyone see Chris Wood? I've not seen the goal as yet. I was preparing for this game, and obviously getting photos of Sir Bobby and Christian Atsu onto the stream, but no, I didn't see the Chris Wood goal. There you go. Xiaomi Redme says Liverpool 2-1, he thinks. Barry Grogan's tuning in from Hollywood. Welcome, Barry. Hope you're enjoying it. Away the lads. I hope we can bring you 3 points today on this watch-along. Gary thinks 100% 3 points to us. Viva Vendetta has got a bad feeling about today's game. Well, I'll just make a change, Viva Vendetta. You're usually such a positive person, aren't you? You know, I mean, you never criticise players or anything like that. Only joking. Russell says, hi, everyone. Let's get a big win for Bobby and Atsu. Yes. Rob Weaver's joining us also. Hi, Billy Go Castle. And James has been to see Ashington against West Auckland, which Ashington won 4-0. Well done to them. Well done to them today. Witness Alexander Isaac to win it, says Danny Gold Channel. Brian's talking about Aspilicueta. Alistair McGregor's here. Welcome, Alistair. Good evening, all, and Billy. Hope we have a good game. Strange about Chris Wood. Yeah, I guess it is. The Goat Father says, R.I.P. Christian and the 40,000 plus people who lost their lives in Turkey and Syria. Yeah, it's not good. David Smith says, we've got the team sheet. Yeah, we've had, if you got here on time, you'd have seen it. I shall put it up again for you, though. This is the Newcastle lineup with Elliot Anderson in for Joe Willock. Apart from that, we're unchanged. We'll remove your comment first so you can see it all. There we go. Current comment. Back into there. Yeah, so Elliot Anderson's in for... I've actually seen the flag now. Bobby's the Italian 90 flag. It's Bobby 90. It's a wonderful flag there. Across some big surfer flag across, I think it's the Gallagher. And it is full-time at Stamford Bridge. So, yeah, unchanged skip for Elliot Anderson for Joe Willock. Wilson does make the bench. And the Liverpool lineup, which obviously not so much bothered about, but Van Dijk does come back into it. Virgil van Dijk. And apart from that, I think they're unchanged also. So, that's the lineup. Now I've got to find the previous comment again. Because we're quite a way back here now. Oh, we do have a new member. Parky's joined as a member. Welcome to the Toon Review community, Parky. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy being part of us. I could start a clock on my phone, but I can't share my phone to the screen, Annie. And I can see the clock on the screen anyway. So, you know, for my benefit, not. Welcome, says Rachel Sparky. Afternoon, Billy and Mod, says Dave Bullman. I think we need a win today to get a bit of momentum going before the final. Man United are really good form lately. Good to see Rafa on scoring. Nice words about Atsu from Rafa. Yeah, of course. He was one of Rafa's signings, wasn't he? Players are in the tunnel. Malcolm Henderson's looking very serious. He just had a tap on the shoulder from Nick Pope, and he seemed a bit oblivious to it. Anyway, the teams are now approaching the pitch. Yano's here. I hope you well, the lads really want to see a performance in the return of the room. Yes, we do. That's exactly what I want to see. Lots of new names in the chat. If you are new to the channel, hit the like button and also give us a subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. But we're heading towards 18,000 subscribers at the moment. Obviously, the more we get, the better. And the more better quality content we can give you. Although our content's pretty shit out at the minute, to be fair. Just showed Everton and Chelsea playing this, but yeah, they played for both those clubs too, didn't they? Norvik's here. There's been a minute silence. I don't know. There may be a minute. I don't know. I honestly don't know, mate. No idea. I guess I'll know in a minute if they all gather around the centre circle, or it might just be a black armband job. Oh no, he said she saw the Chelsea tribute, nearly blubbed. Seriously moving. Angelica's joining us. I'm here and on my way to the pub. I'll be listening to you. Thank you, Angelica. Very kind of you. Oh, and I and Jock used to be married to each other. Okay. Right. Frank from the gas station says Miguel Mon can get a full tank of gas if he ever visits my gas station. Well, we'll get word to him. We'll get word to him. Kazirai Williams tuning in from Uganda. Much love to you, Kazirai, and welcome to the show. Chris Davis says, Bravo Piazzu and happy birthday to Bobby. Yep. Iwani Granny thinks Max is going to score today. Oh, comments just skipped. Oh my god. Yes, I skipped loads there. That was a right good skip. There you go. Susan's in the house also. Hello, Susan. Silence is golden. We're doing this. We're doing Liverpool today, no doubts. RIP to Atsu, getting towards the bottom. There's loads of comments. We've got 644 watching. It should be 644 likes, really. Big Boy Handy's going 2-2. I guess a draw isn't a bad result today, but God, I want to see us smash them. Now, I don't know what they're doing here about minute silences or anything, but doesn't seem to look like there's going to be one at the minute. Neil says people slagging off our bench. That would be a good Bruce's starting team. It would have been. Would have been. And it looks like we could be attacking the Gallagher again. Lee says, how are you? So I'm great, Lee. Thank you for asking. Feel very optimistic and looking forward to a good game of football. Brian says Nunes is looking scary lately. I hope he's not going to score, but I get the impression he's a creative player. Absolutely, yeah. The display was fantastic. The Bobby display. Black armbands are on show. They are wearing black armbands. Haven't made a banner yet, but I need to do one now. So we'll do it just before we have kickoff. And when kickoff does happen, I shall tell you so you can. Oh, sugar. Just delete what I didn't want to delete. Captains is currently meeting in the middle of the centre pitch. England colleagues, of course. Trippier and Jordan Henderson. And there is a minute silence by the look of things that around the centre circle. Newcastle players arm in arm on, and we will be kicking towards the Leeds' first half. Liverpool players on the other side are cooking towards the Gallagher, but they're around the centre circle a minute, and there will be a minute silence for Chris Natsu, the advertising hoardings. Saying his name, so we'll take a minute with him. And now it's broken to applause. Atsu's children and partner are in the crowd, actually. His partner's crying, with his eldest son's clapping. The Liverpool team are clapping. It's quite emotional, actually. Jason Tyndall looks on the verge of tears. It's very strange to kind of applaud one of your former heroes dying at such a young age and such a tragedy. The lad in the crowd holding up an Atsu 30 shirt. Jurgen Klopp looks very, very serious and puts his cap back on, and that's the minutes done. Yeah, it was a bit emotional, that. There's the banner. Newcastle United currently in the huddle. Not the boys' commentary that we usually have. It's just Martin Tyler and Jamie Carragher. Anyhow, Newcastle United are taking the positions now. And as soon as kickoff goes, if you're pausing, Sophie's in the house. Dopey Chris is here. I've never seen him before. But he's... Sophie says, nice to see Rafa back at the club. Kickoff is about to take place. When it kicks off, they're going to take a knee first in the stand against racism in football. And in life general, I guess. And off they go. We're off and running. The ball is back with Joe Gomez. And he's kicked it long, looking for, I think it's Nunes on that far side. It's gone over his head and out for throwing to Newcastle United in the right back area. Kieran Trippier's taken it into 2 balls in the pitch. So the game will have to be stopped. Ball made a bit of an error there. Kieran Trippier will have to take the throw in again. And it's actually a bit fortunate because we were in a bit of a tight squeeze there. Joe Linton is playing on the right-hand side of midfield of the 2 of the 8s. Joe Linton has it now, turned inside. Back he goes to Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär lofts it up that line looking for Almiron, doesn't get anywhere near him. Now it's with Isak. His first touch isn't very good, but he does win it back with a great tackle. Can play Maxi in here. Isak, he didn't give any momentum to move on to. He's gone for the return and Isak has it in the box. It's backed up by Van Dijk, back to Maxi. Maxi's got a square ball, turns it away. Maxi's still going and goes back to Isak, who hasn't come in off that wing. He goes past one to Isak. So the ball on he goes, crosses it in, over hits the cross, and Liverpool can clear it. It's with Henderson, cleared it, looking for the run of Nunes, and he's got the pace on Trippier here, and Pope's come up 30 yards out of his net to head it clear. Did really well there. Nodded it down the line. It's currently with Anderson, I think it is, and now it's Trippier down the line for. Well, it's Almiron looking for a flag, doesn't get one. He does get one in the end. It didn't look offside to me, but there you go. Free kick to unless it's gone out of play. It's gone out of play. It's not offside. Can't be offside, surely to God. But Isak could have put Maxi in there and didn't do so. A half decent pass. He was in on goal. Anyway, Liverpool do play it back to Alisson. Bit of pressure came in from Isak. Alisson squares it forward to Fabinho in the anchor for Liverpool. Fabinho plays it square to Bajcetic. Bajcetic squares it then to Robertson. Robert inside for Fabinho. Back it goes then to Van Dijk. And Van Dijk squares it to Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez cuts inside Maxi. No pressure on the Liverpool centre half. There is now. And it came from Longstaff. Oh, it was Elliot Anderson, sorry. Anderson's going to put pressure on again on Gomez. And Gomez goes all the way back to Alisson. And Elliot Anderson's maintaining the press. Anderson is a little heel to heel and clears it down the pitch, headed by Trippier. Almiron, ball back out to Trippier. Trippier cuts back inside and will give it to Almiron again, does he? No, he's gone for the ball inside. Great ball! Ooh, slightly overhit for Isak, who'd made a great run in the inside right position there. And a great pass from Trippier, just a tad overhit, although he was in on goal. Just a yard overhit. Good anticipation from Alisson to come out and smother the ball. Isak looks sharp at the moment. Van Dijk plays the ball forward. It's with Robertson on the left flank for Liverpool. Just about to enter our half. He goes square for Bajcetic. He's robbed by Almiron. Almiron did brilliant to win the ball there from Bajcetic. He's got the pace of Almiron too. Almiron's in the box. Almiron's got no one to pass to. Fabinho comes back and makes a tackle, and Liverpool can come away with Henderson. Henderson there. Pressurised, try to play the ball in behind Trippier. Terrible pass. Trippier intercepts and floats it onto this far side to Alisson Maximan, who's got a downburn on the overlap. Allen comes inside, goes inside for Fabinho. Great ball! Miggy will score! Oh, it's a great save, Alisson. Great save, Alisson. Should have been 1-0. Great play from Maximan. Put Miggy under the plate. And for one of the first times this season, Miggy was found wanted. But brilliant play from St. Maximan there. Cut inside. Miggy's onside, and he's clean through. And Alisson's out like a shot and smothers the ball. Should have scored. Should have been 1-0. It's a great save. Alisson's instinctively stuck his left hand out, his right hand out, I should say, and just stopped the ball from going past him. It wasn't too bad for Miggy, actually. It was a nice little cultured finish, but Alisson was really good there. Really good. Pope has the ball in his arms. At the other end, he bowls it out to Sven Botman. Sven Botman just coming out the penalty area with the ball. He squares it across to Fabian Schär. No pressure from the Liverpool front men. So the Newcastle centre-halves can play it amongst themselves until they spot a pass they like. Botman has it at the moment, and he goes square to Schär. I'm a opponent, don't know it. Schär looks for a lofted pass over the top of and it goes with great ball from Schär over the top of Alexander-Arnold. Maxi against Alexander-Arnold. Goes past him easily. And again, gone past Gomez, 2 cross the far post. Maxi on 4 at the minute. Maxi with a volley. Oh, it went about 20 yards wide. But Maxi looks very, very sharp. Beat Alexander-Arnold on the outside. Well, he did actually touch his hand, so he probably wouldn't have counted if it had gone through. Play carried on. Then he cut inside Joe Gomez with a great bit of skill. The cross came across to no one in particular because there was no one actually in the box. Van Dijk headed it away, but he headed it straight back to Saint-Maximin, who volleyed it about 10 yards, 20 yards wide. But promising start from Alisson Maximin, it's got to be said. We're going to get pressure on here too. It's with Gomez, and out he comes to Alexander-Arnold. Pressure's on him straight away, and he just clears down the pitch. Dan Burn wins the header. Joe Linton has it. A little ball there to Dan Burn. Back he goes to Botman. Little chip forward, looking for, well, it's headed away from Gomez. Now Joe Linton has it. He's on his left side now. Anderson with a nice bit of footwork, but did lose the end, and it does fall to Isak. There's a ball across there, and again, Isak's pass is slightly back in where it should have been, not providing momentum for the players to run onto. But it's with Trippier, and now it's wide now for Longstaff. Now it's with Miggy. Miggy's going to cut inside. Obviously, he is. Danny overlap for Trippier. Trippier inside there. He's overhit the pass again. Second time he's done it. This time it was to Longstaff in the penalty area, but it's hoofed out for throwing. We've started at a rapid rate of knots here, guys. It's with Fabian Schär, 20 yards into the Liverpool half. Schär floats one over to his far side to Maxi, hugging his left touchline. Maxi against Arnold again. He's got 2 on him this time. Sanders come back to help. Good defender from Gomez. Come in and cut the pass out to Anderson. And he plays it into Henderson and back to, well, it's now with Fabinho. But good defending that time for Liverpool. Maxi didn't get the space. They doubled up this time. Salah came back to help out. Liverpool only attack now with Gakpo out wide there to Nunes. Nunes is playing on the left-hand side against Trippier. Trippier standing off him. Cuts back, intercepted there by Longstaff, who'd come back. Terrible clearance from Schär, straight to Robertson. Now it's with Bajcetic. Bajcetic looking for time, doesn't get a lot of time, plays a poor pass, which is deflected. Clearance is made by Botman, and Maxi will get to it too. And Alexander-Arnold takes off his foot, puts it out for a throw-in. We have 6 minutes 50 on the clock, folks. But a great start from Newcastle. Liverpool, well, they're feeling the heat at the minute. Should be 1 up. Maximin should have scored. Great save from Alisson. But some of the work Maximin's doing has been outstanding so far. Currently the ball's with the possession of Fabian Schär. He plays it square for Sven Botman, and we're about 10 yards outside our penalty box. Now Longstaff, back to Botman. Trying to create a little bit of space. Floats one to the far touchline to Trippier, who nods it back to Schär. We've gained about 5 yards with 6 passes there, but never mind. Schär's going to go for this crossfield pass again. And again, he's picked out some Maximin, a beautiful pass. Maximin has started. He's got doubled up with Salah this time. It's tripled up, in fact, because Henderson's come and joined. That's a poor pass from Longstaff, and it's cut out easily by Robertson. Now by Bajcetic. Back to Robertson. And he squares it into Joe Gomez. No pressure this time, and Arnold can get rid of it down the line, and he does down to Mo Salah. He's been pressured by Dan Burn. Still pressured by Dan Burn. Gone all the way back to the penalty area. Now Gomez back to Alisson, who has to clear it first time because the pressure was coming from Isak. Good play from Newcastle. That good defence from the attacking line, and the thrown's already been taken. Isak has it on the byline, going again. Gomez tried to cross it in, didn't get there. Blocked it was. Now back to Isak again. Isak goes to Maxi. Maxi's got 3 coming to him now, and he goes back to Sven Botman. Good play that from Newcastle. Patient play. Trippier's gone. I think he may be offside here. No, the flag has gone up. He was offside. He went a little bit too early, or the pass was delayed. He wanted it earlier. The pass was there all along, and Sven Botman delayed it. Offside. 8.5 minutes gone. It's been a great start to the game. It's been really entertaining stuff. Have a little drink because Alisson clears it down the pitch looking for Salah. Burn wins that in the air and should win him all day long. In fact, it was Botman who steps up into the left-hand side, rolled, head it away from Salah. Alexander-Arnold throws it back to Joe Gomez. Now to Fabinho, middle of the park, being pressured by Longstaff. Back it goes to Van Dijk. Isak approaches him, and Van Dijk chips one to this right-hand touchline to Alexander-Arnold. Trent has it now. Back it will go to Gomez, and Liverpool just trying to take the sting out of the game at the moment. A bit shell-shocked with the start we've made, but have managed to maintain parity at 0-0. Fabinho back into Salah, back to Gomez. Nice move this in Liverpool, actually. Over the top, good ball that. He's one-on-one with the keeper. 1-0 Liverpool. Cody Gakpo. No, it's Darwin Núñez, in fact. Kieran Trippier's claiming a handball, and VAR will look at this, of course, but it's a good finish, and it's a good move, actually. But VAR will look at this. First time they've gone forward. Kieran Trippier's claiming handball. Whether we'll see it or not, I don't know, but it's a great move. Fabinho, Salah, Arnold, great ballers from Arnold. He's not offside, never been offside. He's over the top of Cher's head. Trippier's claimed handball there. Trippier's claiming handball. We're not going to get look, what sort of view is this? Whenever there's a handball incident, you get a close view of it. This one, we're getting nothing. So this ain't going to be... oh, he has handballed it. Yeah, absolutely has. Although Cher's the nearest, and he's not appealed for it. Trippier's... well, there's a good view. Oh, I don't think I'm going to allow that. It looks like he's handballed it, but I'm not sure that they can overturn that. It's not offside. They're not going to overturn that. So I think it's going to be 1-0 to Liverpool. It's a brilliant finish from Núñez. They are checking it. Well, they're checking the offside. There's no point checking offside because it ain't offside. They should be checking the handball. That's what they should be checking. I don't think he has handballed it, you know. It's a brilliant finish, though. Once he has handballed it, the goal's been given. It's hit his chest, they're saying, and, well, I tend to agree with them. But it was a great move. And over the two centre-halves, in between Cher and Botman, Núñez did brilliantly to get in between them. He's actually at the other end now, by the way, going against Van Dijk. No, it's actually Gomez. He's cut inside two of them, played it back. Longstaff has it now. Now he goes square to St. Maximan. That's really took the fire out of us. Maxi went to float when it's headed away from Van Dijk. And Liverpool do get rid of it in the end. It's going to be a goal kick if it does come in. Anthony Taylor, of course, referee. Well, I'm not sure how Trippier's the closest to it. And he's appealed for it, but he would, wouldn't he? Let's be fair. But the views of the handball ain't great. But it's a brilliant. It's a great finish. Pope had no chance really. And Núñez is very pleased about it. And as Alisson has been pressurised there, he clears it over the head and going to be a Liverpool throw-in. But it's definitely took the flame out of us, this has. Taken us out of our stride with a much better side for the first 10 minutes. Then the one move, cut us open like a ribbon, and a great finish from Núñez. And it's 1-0 Liverpool, folks. Anyway, the ball is with Andy Robertson on the left-hand defensive flank for Liverpool. He comes inside for Fabinho. Fabinho's got Joe Linton in his back. It's Isak, in fact. And Trent's pressure. I don't know what that is from Trent. And Anderson gets a head on it. Unfortunately, it's too much of a head on it, and out for a goal kick it goes. Mary says there's still plenty of time, and this is only the first half. There is. The pass from Alexander-Arnold, I've got to say, was an absolute superb pass. And the way they set up Alexander-Arnold was good with Salah too. But yeah, it's a bit disappointing, really, that the two centre-halves were took out with one pass. You know, whether that happens, you know, he says it's something that's coming inside. A little bit sloppy. And the views of the handball that were given on the cameras weren't great, but I think there was nowhere enough to overturn it. If the referee disallowed it in the first place, they probably wouldn't have overturned it the other way either. So, anyway, it's a goal kick to Liverpool, and Alisson's going to kick it long. Long it goes down the middle, looking for Nunez. Trippier gets ahead to it. Almiron's beaten, and Trippier robs Nunez out for throw into Liverpool. It goes. Van Dijk, long he goes, looking for Salah. It's a fantastic pass that, and he cut inside Burn. Burn is about to get a foot in there. Joe Linton was second to it there. Now Henderson, wide he goes, Alexander-Arnold, first time cross, it's a good one. Trippier clears it for corner. Cool, there's some dangerous stuff going on here from Liverpool. They're looking really good in attack, I've got to say. 2 passes from Alexander-Arnold. This cross here is absolutely, it's a belter in a real bad area for Newcastle to defend. Trippier does really well, actually. But there was no one forward for Liverpool to gamble on it, which is strange, really. Corner ball. Which will be taken as Nunez is very lively in the middle of the park. In comes the corner. It's left by everyone. It's come out to Alexander-Arnold on this side. He's gone for a first-time cross. Good head there from Botman. Now Burn will overhead kick it at clearance. Hopefully he does. Alexander-Arnold will get it. It was Max, actually. Max has done brilliantly there. And Max has gone past Salah. Gomez. Cuts inside Gomez. Looks for a pass for Isak, just slightly overhit. Well played again from St. Maximan. But just inside, he just keeps it in and adds Gomez on toast, really. Isak gives him a run, gives him a pass to aim for, but Alisson's got it covered and he's playing as a third centre-half, Alisson, at the minute. Very much like Nick Pope does, sweeping and keeping, basically. Anyway, Liverpool have the ball now down the line. Cher is in the chase with Gakpo, gets there first and lays it back to Nick Pope. Nick Pope goes to Botman, who's got pressure on him from Henderson. But it's easily got out of, and the pass is overhit. Longstaff can't do anything with it, and back it goes to Joe Gomez and back to the keeper. Alisson, Van Dijk's available, takes it over. And down he comes for Alexander-Arnold, who's got Max up his backside, but back to Alisson he goes. 16 minutes on the clock, still Liverpool 1-0. And it's with Bajcetic, who's a great rate of knots through the middle of the park. Longstaff looks leggy today, folks, I've got to say. It's with Nunez on the far side. And he comes inside for Fabinho's about 30, 35 yards from goal into Salah. Little ball inside. Nice through bit out 2-0 Liverpool. And it's the goal from Gakpo. Nice through bit of that. Nice through butter. Brilliant move again. Too quick for the defenders. The offside traffic is broken. 2-0 to Liverpool. Good and Bennett. This is like watching the old days. Is there any offsides here? That's what we've got to hope for here. Possibly. Don't think there is. Trippier's playing him on side, unfortunately. And that's not for the first time this season. It's chickens are coming home to roost here, folks. Might be in the better side for the first 5 or 10 minutes. Liverpool have had 2 attacks, and it's 2-0. Gakpo and Nunez. Kieran Trippier playing them on side. And that's the goal. Pope's out quickly, but not quickly enough. And this is, well, they're looking for offside, but there's no way. There might be a hand offside, but you can't score with your hand, so they're not going to give that up, disallow that. It's very schoolboyish, I've got to say, because why is Trippier standing so far back? I don't get it. I don't get why he's not in line with the defenders, but there you go. They're not going to disallow this. No way in God's earth, because Trippier's foot's ahead of Gakpo's. $18 minutes on the clock, 2-0. They're doing their damnedest to disallow it, but here comes the lines, and I think he's going to be proved onside, and he is onside. 2-0 Liverpool. The quickness and fleetness of foot of the Liverpool set forwards, I'm afraid our defenders have been found wanting twice now. Anyway, 2-0 down. And we've kicked off, and back to Botman it goes. Ball forward for Joe Linton, who's been non-existent so far in this game. Liverpool win the ball back straight away. Fabinho. Maybe the players have got their eyes on the final next week. Maybe they have, because the likes of Joe Linton and Longstaff have been non-existent so far. Liverpool again playing through us quite easily. Nick Pope's come out a bit shell shocked. I don't know why he's come out that far because it was in the possession of the Newcastle players. Hoofed it as far as he could. Isaac jumps, doesn't win it. Longstaff does win ahead of there, but they win it back again. Little flick on. Shea has it now. An aimless ball up the pitch. Anderson against who's that in there? It's Anderson, isn't it? Yeah, Anderson beats Henderson in the air. And it'll be a throw-in to Liverpool, I believe. Nearly 20 minutes on the clock. Alexander Arnold will take this. Game isn't done yet, guys. 2-0. We can still get one back and put a bit of pressure on. You know, Liverpool have been playing well. Anderson as well there anyway, by the way. He's gone past 2. Oh, dear me, that's a foul, referee. And is it a bad one? Fabinho's gone in there. He's getting a yellow for it. I think VAR needs to look at this. Henderson's trying to referee the game. So Salah. It was a bad tackle from Fabinho and Anderson. He did really well. Now, do we see a good view of this? Oof, it's just a yellow, I think. Oof, it's a bad one. He's gone Studson over the top. That should be. Ooh. Well, for anyone else who's seen Reds, it's a yellow card for Fabinho. It's probably an orange card in real life. And yeah, it's a free kick to Newcastle. Kieran Trippier will put this in. It's about 25, 30 yards from goal, 35 maybe. Going to be an in-swinger. Big men are there. Shea, Botman, Byrne, Joe Linton. But Alisson has got a very advanced position. He's on the edge of his 6-yard box here. I wonder if Trippier would dare go for goal from there. Because he could get there. He's not. It's too close to the keeper, and he'll come out and clap that all day long. Poor free kick. And immediately he's kicking down the pitch, and it's 1-on-1 Salah against Pope here. Pope has to get this. Pope's handballed out of the air. He could be red carded here. Oh, this could be a red card. And it is straight red to Nick Pope. My God. Don't know what he was doing there. Red card to Pope. Handballed outside the box. He'll miss the cup final next week, folks. So we're going to go into the cup final with Carriers. Anthony Taylor couldn't wait to get his card out. But it's a red card. A goalkeeper handed it outside the box. And Nick Pope's been red carded. Now you can get negative because we're going into a cup final without the best keeper in the country. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why he was doing that far out for. The ball over the top again. Klopp's done his homework on our defenders here. Klopp's done his homework. It's a tactical masterclass, to be honest, from the big tooth man. Straight for a very poor free kick from Kieran Trippier. Long clearance, straight down the pitch. Salah's in, straight on goal. Pope's there, tried to head it, and it's not deliberate handball. He's trying to head it. So I think Taylor's a bit. He's trying to head the ball. He's dived to head it, and he's managed to. It's not deliberate. I don't think that's a deliberate handball. He's also managed to foul. He dived to head it, and he's gone off his head into his hands. His hands are in front of him. It's not deliberate handball. It's not deliberate handball at all. That's not deliberately handballed that. It's a ridiculous law, that is. If that's a red card for that, then I'm afraid, probably been better off letting the goal in. Get that sent off. Beat says deliberately he pulled it towards him. He dived to head it, and the ball came off his head into his arms. It's not a deliberate handball in any shape, way, or form. But the law is if your handball's outside the box, Dubravka won't play the final Vicky D's cup side. I mean, he's stopping a goal scoring opportunity, isn't he? So whether it's deliberate or accidental, but it doesn't matter the toss really. Anyway, Dubravka's coming on now. So who's going to come off? Who's going to be sacrificed here? Dubravka comes on for, it's Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson's off, and Dubravka's on. This is a shit show, isn't it? Christ. Of all the things to go wrong, in the first 23 minutes of the game, we've had 2 goals put past us, despite starting the game really well. And then Nick Pope's been sent off and we'll miss the cup final next week. We don't do things easy way at Newcastle, do we? Not only does I miss the final, I miss the next 2 games after that also. I missed the Man City game away. Well, do you know what? I don't think Gillespie's even registered, so it's got to be Karius. And if he's injured, we haven't got a goalkeeper. Oh dear. Anyway, Alexander-Arnold with a free kick, looking inside, header, and Dubravka manages to get down to it and save it. But that was nearly 3-0. So it's not been the greatest 25 minutes of football for Newcastle United. It's been absolutely 2 great goals from Liverpool, we've got to say, or 2 great goals, the good goals, but poor defending. Anyway, Maxi's come inside a little bit. Joe Linton's now there. Now it's with Maxi. Maxi's got 2 on him. Goes inside 1. Goes inside 2. He plays it out wide then for Miggy, who's coming inside a little bit. Trippier's on the wide side, and there's Trippier there on the right flank. Trippier comes back on his left foot, and he's tackled there by Seti. And it's a throw into Newcastle. And Trippier's down holding his knee. If anything else could go fucking bad. Trippier's in pain, and he's holding his knee. And he said, I think I lip read him saying he's twisted it. Fucking Jesus Christ. But he's back up anyway. Trippier's back up. That's at least one thing. Ball is with Sven Botman, and down he comes to Dan Burn. Dan Burns just give it straight to Mo Salah, and out it goes for a throw-in, which has gone back to Trent. Trent goes back to Gomez and square to Van Dijk, and this is Liverpool will be loving this. 2-0 up against 10 men away from home. Haven't won away from home since Boxing Day. You know, events conspired against us today. Strange things have happened. There's been some poor defending. There's been some errors of judgment that we haven't seen all season. God, have we been punished for it? 2 down and the goalkeeper sent off. Anyway, Liverpool on the attack with Salah back to Henderson, who will be enjoying life at the minute. Alexander-Arnold back to Henderson, and it's going to be a key ball exercise now for Liverpool. They can play the ball out as much as they want against 10 men. And if there's a team that can take advantage of that, it's Liverpool. All the confidence will come rushing back. Excuse me. It's with Bicetic now, halfway line, and it's key ball now. Alexander-Arnold. Back to Gomez. This could be a really boring episode here because Liverpool's going to keep the ball. And if we put the pressure on, I'll just play him behind us and have another chance. Henderson to Gomez. Now Fabinho. And now Van Dijk. And now over to Robertson. And probably go back to Van Dijk again. He does. Square to Gomez. There's a little bit of pressure coming in. Token pressure. And Gomez has got a bit of space to run into. And over the top, is that ball over the top again? And this time it's been followed. Notice that Dubravka's starting position was nowhere near as advanced as Pope's there, but he does get the ball in the end. I think he's going to kick it. I don't think he's going to roll it out to anyone. Well, yeah, he's just rolled it to Sven Botman, who was about a foot away from him. Longstaff back to Botman. The pressure's on for Liverpool here. They smell blood. They smell Newcastle blood. Burn in trouble here. Clears it well, actually. It's going to go out of play. So thrown to Liverpool halfway inside the Newcastle half. Gomez square to Van Dijk. Keep ball now for Liverpool defenders. 2 centre halves. Now down to Trent. Trent will go inside to Henderson. Back to Trent. And this is a training ground exercise for Liverpool now. As for sending off, I don't believe it was a deliberate handball because he's headed it into his arms. When he's diving, you can't dive without your arms in front of you, and his hands have kind of gone in front of him. He's aiming to head it away. He's headed it down. His arms have kind of smothered it. It's not a deliberate handball. Of course, Anthony Taylor from Manchester. I'll just emphasise that. Anthony Taylor from Manchester. Couldn't wait to get his red card out. Anyway, Liverpool on the attack. We do interrupt this one. It's with Isak. Isak's going against Van Dijk. Can he beat Van Dijk for pace? Probably not, but he's being chased now by Robertson on the other side. He cuts inside Robertson, goes past Isak. Does really well here, Isak. Still Isak. Back he goes to Maxi. Maxi's gone a little ball outside. Miggy wasn't expecting it, and Robertson does get it back. Poor clearance, though. Maxi has it now. And Maxi's tackled for the first time in this game, actually. Back to Botman. Longstaff, Botman. Nice pass there from Botman out to Maxi. Miggy, sorry. Now Trippier. Poor Trippier's desperate. Desperate pass from Trippier. Not having his greatest game again. And a ball over the top. It's the same ball every single time, and this time it's released Salah. And Salah will pick it up on his right flank, corner of the area, cuts inside. Salah, little ball inside, it's a poor one, and it is intercepted, I should say now. But Botman gives it a Burn. Burn turns back, goes inside for Joe Linton. Joe Linton for Longstaff, and Newcastle trying to play the way out of trouble here. Miggy, with outside of the foot pass to Trippier. Trippier has no one to aim for, so he's gone area looking for Isak. It's Miggy, actually. It's Maxi, and Maxi's in, actually. Maxi's cut inside. Maxi's done really well. Probably did too much here. Can't find a pass. He's got trying to beat him. Maxi! Oh, he hit the bar! Great save, Madison. Brilliant from Maxi. So unlucky. Allison's turned up today. That's a fantastic save. Brilliant from Allison Maximan. Brilliant. Robertson on toast. Van Dijk on toast. Two of them on toast. And in the end, it was Henderson on toast. But a shot. It was a great save from Allison. It's close to him. Van Dijk's not got a sniff. And Allison's parried it onto the bar. It'd be a corner to Newcastle. Brilliant from Max. Who at the very least is playing himself into a bit of form here. Trippier with a corner. Always Trippier with a corner. But it was a good pass from him in the first place, to be fair. There's a bit of jiggery-pokery going in the box between Van Dijk and Botman, the two Dutchmen. Anthony Taylor comes in and separates them and tells them to act their age or whatever. I don't know what he said to them, but Joe Linton's having a bit of a struggle on the far post. It's going to be a deep one. It's over the head of Joe Linton. Header, blocked by his own player. Didn't fall for Newcastle player. Of course, didn't. Maxi does well to get the ball back. And it's going to come to Trippier in the end, but he'll let it go out for the throw-in. Nearly another break for Liverpool. Now, Miggy on this side. On the outside of Henderson. Henderson sticks a boot out into the corner. Nice bit of character being shown here from Newcastle. It's a corner for Newcastle, but we've put a bit of effort into this now and trying to get back into the game, which is good to see. Their heads haven't dropped. They're angry. They're more than anything. They're not shrinking violets. That's one good thing about it. Here comes across from Trippier. It's another deep one. Botman, Burn had it back in. Little flick from Joe Linton into the arms of Allison. Excuse me. Jazz Flick says this has been coming. Can't say I'm surprised. Never fancied tonight. We won't win the cup either. Well, it's very, very, very negative, but we shall see. We don't do things the easy way, do we? Anyway, the ball's with Alexander-Arnold. Chingley says we look like a Steve Bruce team again. Great interception there from Miggy to get the ball back from Gakpo. Miggy steps inside and goes to the other side of Gakpo, gives it to Trippier. Well played, Miggy Albon. Little floaty ball down the side looking for Isak, who's shown. It's Maxi, actually. He's playing like an auxiliary striker. He's fouled there. Ref gives nothing. Lineman stood right next to him and not a thing given. Liverpool do come away with it. And the deflected pass falls straight into the path of Alexander-Arnold. And now he goes backwards to Gomez. And now it's picked up by Henderson in the number 6 role. Trent now. To Robertson. This is when Liverpool have the ball, it's going to be a hard watch because there won't be any pressure. We haven't got the men to do it, so Liverpool can play amongst themselves until they see a gap they want to go for. But it's generally been that ball straight over the top of the two defenders. They've had to rethink their game now for the two centre halves, and I'm glad we've seen it now actually because if Man United has seen it. We can do something about it in between now and next week. Sophie says, I think it was a mistake not to start Gordon. He would have been well up for it. Yeah, he would have been, but I think we'll see him second half because, I mean, Max is playing on the left flank and as a striker at the minute, which is trying to cover two places at once. That's the right side at the minute. He's playing we're playing like a 4-3-2 at the minute. Anyway, Liverpool do come away with Robertson on that left flank. Gakpo inside him, back to Robertson, and back he goes all the way. We're going to see a lot of this. Van Dijk, Henderson, Gomez. Trent on this right-hand side on the halfway line. Over the top again, it's that same ball. Over Cher's head. Nunez is brilliantly fouled there. Ref says play on. Where's the ball? Play on. And they're trying to give the ball away here, and they do. And Byrne wins it back off Alexander Arnold. Plays a nice pass to Maxi. Maxi with a great turn. It's Isak, in fact. Great turn from Isak. Now it's Maxi on his left flank. Telling Cher's made a run, or Miggy's made the run, and Max ignored him. They gives it in the end on the left flank. I think Eddie Howe just told us front three to just buzz around and do what you can. And that's what they're doing at the minute. Newcastle now have a bit of possession. It's with Longstaff, floats it wide. Trippier, good pass. Trippier, little flicked inside ball there for Longstaff. Longstaff tries to get across, and it's blocked. Couldn't afford for Joe Linton on the edge of the area. Joe Linton floats on the far side to Miggy, to Maxi. Maxi's got three on him. He will come back to Dan Burn. Dan Burn's first time cross. It ain't a bad one. Actually in the air. Oh, well defended though from Robertson. It will be a corner. Didn't go. Will be a throw in. Defensive work from Darwin Nunez there actually. Very impressive with Darwin Nunez so far. A lot of people have criticised him, but you know, he can't fault his work rate, and he scored a superb goal. Anyway, his corner at snap swing this time. Anderson looked to come to it. Didn't go. There was a Newcastle header, and it's headed away for another corner from Trent. There's a comment there blaming Maxi for it. I've got to have a look at that. Oh, I can't see it, but it was said something like ASM starts, we start conceding. Anyway, corner's coming, it's kicked away. Longstaff should get this. And it's a terrible touch from Longstaff. And it's Salah. Could play Nunez in instead. Miggy could get sent off here. And that's going to be yellow for Miggy. It's a foul near to the box. Cool, blimey, we're getting torn to pieces on the counter. Torn to pieces. Longstaff, I think it was Longstaff. He's offside there. Why did he flag him offside? Linesman let it go, which they're supposed to do, I suppose. If it had been a goal, it would have come back. Nunez was offside, but because it wasn't, I mean, if it was in the box, if he just fouled him in the box, they'd have had to go back to the offside, so wouldn't it? But this way, they get a free kick. Crap law. Crap law. Free kick on the edge of the area. Anyway, it's probably the wrong side for Trent. It's on the right hand side, so you know it's probably a left footer's free kick. This one, Salah's there, Henderson's there, Trent is there. Newcastle have made a 5-man wall. Taylor's probably going to push him back about another 10, 20 yards. Dubravka's lined up a wall. He's stood in his near post, angling it. Well, you need to hurry up, Dubravka, because they're just ready to take the free kick. You're stood in the wrong post. You give them the whole goal to aim for. $1.99 super chat from Mbappe. James, do you think the new Qatari will buy Mbappe and United? Well, they might do, and they might not. If I was the Glazers, I wouldn't sell them. Anyway, Salah with a free kick, blocked, headed away, going to fall for Robertson. Robertson played it wide for Gakpo. Gakpo crossed it in. There's lots of people here to go for. Henderson tried a volley. Botman, what he was doing now, I don't know, but it went over his head and into the arms of Dubravka, and he bowls it out to Longstaff. Now Miguel Almiron. Back to Fabian Cher. Forward against Almiron. Liverpool are pressing now, by the way. Botman has it in his own penalty area. Played 4 or 5 passes there to lose 5 yards, actually. Now Joe Linton. Joe Linton's been very, very quiet. Ball forward from Maxi back to Joe Linton and back to Maxi again. Actually, he's going to go out wide to Trippier. Trippier's got Maxi ahead of him. He's gone for the ball in the back, looking for Isak. Oh, he could have stuck a foot out, didn't. And now Trent has it and clears it down the pitch to Dan Burn. Could come to Isak. It does. Isak has it now. It should flick it for Joe Linton. He does. Joe Linton's got Dan Burn on the wide. Isak gives it to Dan Burn, in fact, via Joe Linton. Now back to Joe Linton again. We're going nowhere here. That's a poor ball for Joe Linton. It was almost intercepted by Gakpo. Miggy. Fabian Schär goes all the way back to Dubravka, who's standing 20 yards outside the box. Never seen Dubravka here before. But he's going to hit it long. Looking for that's a good ball, actually. Trippier. Great ball from Dubravka. Shame he can't play in the cup final next week, actually, because that was a good pass. Anyway, now it's with Longstaff in the centre of the pitch. He goes wide here for Dan Burn, who's getting forward and actually doesn't look too bad doing it today. Now it's Joe Linton, who's trying to get himself involved in the game. He's gone square. Maxi has it. Maxi's cut inside. And he goes back to Fabian Schär, who's very advanced. Now Miggy. Trippier's on the far side and he gets it eventually. Probably going to come back. That's a good ball he plays for Longstaff. Longstaff doesn't have that much time. Just get across it. It's deflected out off Virgil van Dijk's head for a corner. It's been quite good the past 10 minutes, if I'm perfectly honest. Black Sparrow says, for the cup match, who do we have for keeper? Well, if Carries is fit, it'll be him. I don't know who will be the replacement keeper. We might not even have one. Unless we have a youth keeper. Probably the youth keeper. Corner comes in. Oh, it's hit the bar. Great corner. And for once, it was a good set piece, but it's just hit the bar. Not having much luck today, Newcastle. Long pass, and he won't be offside there. It should come to Trippier. 2 men going for the same ball. Schär, looking for the crosses over, hit that straight into the arms of Alisson. Unlucky Newcastle United. Dan Burn with the header, hit the bar. And Alisson have no chance. It's a great header. Just 6 inches too high. Rocketing off the bar. Anyway, Liverpool have it now with Gomez. Square to Van Dijk. Now wide for Robertson. Back again. This is the patient play that Liverpool are doing. Back to Alisson, who's standing just outside his penalty area. 58 possessions to Liverpool, 42 to Newcastle. We've had more shots than them, actually. Though of their 6, 4 have been on target. We've had 17 touches in their penalty box, compared to 5 for them. And then 2. Liverpool already attack now. Salah, who's gone onto the side now, and he give it to Robertson. Now it's with Nunez wide on that left flank. Nunez gets inside, passing inside for Fabinho. He'll come down for Alexander-Arnold, who's got no one near him. Burn does get out to him. It's going to go out for a corner, and it will be a corner. So since going to 10 men, we've hit the bar twice. Once with a great save from Alisson and a bucket header from Burn there. But we're fighting down to 10 men. You've got to kind of think to yourself that the effort we're putting in at the moment, you know, it could catch up with us later in the game. And with a very sparse bench, we haven't got many chances to change it anyway. We've already made one change, of course. Burns cleared that. It'll be a throw into Liverpool level of the area. God, I work with so many Liverpool supporters as well. Fuck it now. Dreading Monday already. Fabinho has it. Now he's gone square to Gomez and now Van Dijk. You've got to say Klopp's did his homework against us. Probably the first manager all this season that has done. Although we are playing without Bruno, who's a massive miss, of course. Joe Linton, give the ball away there. Arnold tries to go past Burn, but Burn does really well. Burn's had a good game, actually. Got to give him credit. I've been very critical of him lately. Been of the back forward, probably been the best one so far. Miggy there was dreadful. Joe Linton did really well to get in there and to get a foot in there, but it just fall for Henderson. Botman's passed it to Joe Linton, who's lying on the floor. I think that the Newcastle central defence, the heads are scrambled at the minute. Anyway, Arnold's switched play to the other side of the pitch to where Robertson's waiting. Now he's gone to Nunez on that left-hand flank. Faced up by Trippier. Toy with Trippier, a little cross ball across for Arnold again. Burns come out to him. And Henderson makes the overlap. Good header away from Cher. Burns should clear that. Doesn't though. Take your time here. Someone give him a shout and tell him he's got time. Crying out loud. It's some of it schoolboyish. Henderson kicks out for throwing, but yeah. The dependable part of the side are the ones that have let us down today, I'm afraid. The back five take Burn out of that equation because he's been okay. Anyway, it's a goal kick for Newcastle. It's going to be taking 4 minutes of added time, of which 3 seconds of those will be the time it took for Martin, what's his face, Anthony Taylor to get his red card out of his pocket. Dubravka hoofs it down the pitch, looking for Dan Burn, who's held down there by Alexander Arnold. The referee totally ignores it. Botman loses out to Gakpo, but we do win the ball back. Aimless ball left from Trippier, and Alisson comes out and plays a first-time volley pass out to and Andy Robertson on that left-hand side. Inside, he comes to Fabinho. Cakewalk this Liverpool at the moment, 2-0 against 10 men. We've played 45 minutes. We're in the first minute of injury time, added on time, whatever you want to call it. Gomez, inside he goes, back to Van Dijk. They'll be very happy with their first half's work. Gomez squares it to Van Dijk. And wide for Andrew Robertson, who's been marked up by Trippier, actually. And Miggy's actually behind Trippier. Fabinho in the centre circle. Square, he comes for Joe Gomez. Ball over the top again. And this time it's going to get Salah. Salah gets to it, but he can't control it. Great pass from Gomez. And if Salah could have controlled that, it could have been 3. But that ball over Botman's head, he's getting caught out time and time again with it. Time again. The only way we get back into this game, I think, folks, is if the red cards do kind of one goes to a Liverpool player. Paul says, hi, Billy, Paul, and Mods and Chat. Sanders believe actually played decent, but I went skipped. Sorry, Paul. I'll try and find that comment because it looked quite good. Let's have a look. Put it up. We've actually played decent, but our past tiredness is haunting us here. By the way, anyone saying how out should disappear, this is the time our team needs us. Absolutely. Well said, mate. Ball is deep in the Liverpool half, and Dan Burn has a throw in virtually next to the corner flag. I wonder how far he can throw it. I'm going to see, I think. Probably throw it to the stand on the other side, but he's gone for a long throw into the middle, looking for Joe Linton, doesn't find him. Mig on the edge of the box, might have a go, does, just wide of the post. Good effort. Hit it with his right foot, strange enough, and it was just about a foot wide of the post, and I don't think Alisson was expecting it. Cool, he's just there, maybe 2 yards wide, but good effort with his right foot. First bit of adversity in the season, this, folks. I'll see how we react to it. We've done pretty well so far since going 2 down and losing our goalkeeper, of course. That ball over the top again. It's over Botman's head again. This time, Dubravka does get it off the foot of Salah. One of these is going to fall into his path, but I think we're defending a bit too high up the pitch, folks. I think they're doing it every single time now. Trippier back to Cher. Of course, with Bruno in the team, you can do that. A little flick from Isaac didn't work, and they do lose out. Miggy wins it back. Nice pass. Maxi taken on by Henderson, actually, and wide comes the Burn. That's half time, folks. 2-0 to Liverpool, down to 10 men. Be a good game to win this one. Let's remove the banner for a minute and do a few comments. That's a hard watch. Right, let's go back a little bit and see what we've got. I mean, there's lots of conspiracy theories going on in the chat. Let's go from that. Wise Guy says, great start for 3 minutes and disaster. We're not making anything count for our fast start in the games now. That's a fair comment now. Kendo says the long ball is killing us. We all slag Klopp off for his behaviour, but he's a pretty good coach. He knows what he's doing. He did his homework. He knows that we defend quite highly. The ball over the top and the pacing behind. It's murdered us first half. Murdered us. Robert says, how can he work with what he has? The owners didn't back him last month. Amy's frustration at them, that manager. Well, let's not aim in frustration anywhere. It's we're way ahead of where we should be, but there's a bit of adversity today. That's all. Stu's got Tony Timebridge blames me for it. Well, might as well. Yeah, might as well. Score flatters him a little bit. Yeah, we've hit the bar twice. You know, we've shown a lot of bravery, actually. Fox says today was Pope's bad day off. He's been in real trouble. It does happen, and I don't think he meant to do it, which is kind of the galling thing about it. But I guess because if he hadn't done it, Salah would have probably scored, wouldn't he? That's why he's been sent off. Yeah, I don't think a 3-match ban for that kind of thing is right. To be honest, it's an accident, you know. But that's the law. I don't know if we'll get it. Is it a 3-match ban for that? Won't be watching Match of the Day tonight. That's for certain, Paul. Oh dear. We've got Man United fans in, have we? What a surprise. Celebrating their great mates winning. Dear me. Dear me. Dom says, Liverpool have slowed the game down. They don't need to attack on us. So, of course, we're going to look back. Well, this is true. This is true. And they do look very, very dangerous. They do, even now. Should Wilson play in the final since he bought the last few games for us? Well, the manager selects a side and he's put him on the bench today. So I don't think Callum Wilson selects it by any stretch of the imagination. Pope deserves to final. Utterly ludicrous thing to do. Real rush of blood to the head, wasn't it? And he says loads of Geordies hate the Toon, apparently. Yeah, it's Ian says, get Dan Burn off, get Gordon, go 3 at the back and just attack these guys. Well, Ian, the thing is, Dan Burn's been the most dependable one of the 4 today. You know, he has been. He's been the one that stood. He's been the one that stood up to the task more than anyone. Trippier was at fault for the second. Some of his passing has not been great. Botman and Scherer getting the ball lobbed over them every 5 seconds. Well, whenever they do it, you know, I've not sussed it yet. Stan, you know, I don't know. I think they might need to defend maybe 5 or 10 yards deeper and see what goes from there. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good. We did not win a single one of those long balls, says Nacho Gamer. Liverpool is like we are 2 goals and a man up. We'll sit back, let you weigh yourselves down with such hard. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Bang on. Fox says the meltdown from our fans have you thinking we're battling. Yeah, it is bizarre, mate. It is bizarre. Bro, this is nothing wrong with Wilson. He bottled the last few games. I mean, we haven't got a physiotherapist or anything like that in the club, have we? You know. Yeah, you know, it's and I can understand the frustration towards the transfer window in January. I really can. I agree with a lot of it, you know. But it looks like, as Fahad says, Carriers will play the final. Indeed. Mark Bolam says Astros have a check, but he's to blame. Darlow's at Hull, isn't he? Yeah, it's of course Carragher and them will be dancing around the streets. I mean, I don't even want to watch this half time because they're going to be virtually slathering over that performance. Less fakes facts is a Blackpool, short of a triumph. To lose only 2 matches against the same opposition, this isn't bad. We stand for we are united. Indeed, we are. Well, some of us are, which means we're not. Rafa won't be happy about that. Jamie Redknapp looks very, very pleased with life. I've got to say. And he says you're doing all right, Fal. Good, we all are. Yeah, it's not good. Well, this will be my first defeat of the season, won't it? And the watch along. Brian says, I think it's one of Hal's plans. Play shit for 4 games, then turn on for the final. Yeah. Andy says half something. Paul says, what I've been saying, it's the same ball every time. They've literally scored 2 goals from it. Why aren't they starting to click onto it? Yeah. Well, Ashby isn't on the bench, Mal, but I mean, I'd maybe get Mankey on for Trippier. I mean, they just had the first goal again. The views they showed of it weren't great ones. Now, I know I've noticed this before. When we do something, you get all the close-ups, you know what I mean? Zooms in and all sorts. There you go. Liverpool will still drop points in top 4 chase. Man United will beat them as well. And if you want, I'm not so sure, mate. I'm not so sure. Rungson's watching the Italian league. Serie A. Pad over 1-1. John says, don't forget, it's all going to be on Amazon next year. Brilliant. It's just a 1-match back as you've sent off for whatever dog so means, but what a match to miss. And he definitely misses the Carabao Cup final. I'm just watching it now. I mean, again, it's down to the defence being so high. Oh, it's a great kick from Alisson. Pope's on his way back. He's trying to head it, and it's kind of mistimed. He almost cripples Dan Burn when he stands up. Longstaff's at fault. Longstaff's mainly at fault for that. I'd rather concede the goal, to be honest. Yeah, I was thinking that, Chris, if it's a 1-game ban. Shamrock, I'm sick of this. Sick of the disaster for us to earn in real position. At Christmas, and the club has done fuck all to consolidate it. Sorry, but 100% club's fault for this shambles. And James Matthews says, I feel like I'm in a nightmare. Can't wake up. James says, it's not just us. There have been bizarre results all around the league since the start of January. Second half of the season is more about pacing ourselves. Yeah, that's a fair comment. Kenneth says, yeah, we haven't been too bad down to 10 men. We haven't been, actually. We've actually hit the bar a couple of times, so I mean, just seen a comment here that honestly is possibly the worst comment I've ever seen on this channel. I'm not going to read it, but you lot can. Well done, Nathan Gardner 07. You've won Monumental Bell End of the Century Award. That is the worst post amongst some pretty stiff competition, I might add, that I think I've ever seen on this channel. Nathan says, Shane says, does Trippie know the offside rule because he's been at fault for both goals? Yeah, he has actually. And it's not the first time either. It's not the first time he's done it, Shane. It's happened, I can't think when, it's been pretty recent though. But there you go. He gets credit, doesn't he? We only burn ourselves out for the first 20 minutes every week, then we are above average as yeah. Liam says Liverpool will show up against us, dust off damage limitation, start afresh. This is true, they do actually. My head and my heart did when we were predicting his score lines of the night. My head and my heart did think of different things, and I said 2-0 in my heart. My head didn't think that at all. I don't know what Kenny's talking about here. Karius can't play his parent team. He plays for us, mate. He's signed for us. He's our player. There's no parent team to it. Get Gordon on, not playing in final, rest someone. Fair point. Angelica, if we think we're doing bad, Angelica sat amongst lots of Liverpool supporters. I assume you're very quiet, are you, Angelica? Paul Sprague says ball over the top is doing us all the time defensively to drop back, but yeah. We are fine. Let's not forget this is our first full season to take over. We are punches above our weight. We will only go higher from here. Liverpool 15 long balls first half. That's record. Why wouldn't they? You know, we spoke about this on Thursday night with Doug, who said they've kind of changed their style a bit. You know why they're going long ball against us? Because we defend too high against his team. You know. If he says take the 2-0 now, no, I think we can still win this. Liverpool's years in terms of developments, as dynamic detailing and team build. Where in year one, our time will come. Of course, it will. Big Dog says Trippier has been crap lately. Tony Tomby's only joking. Good. Carriers can play in the final. I don't think Gillespie's registered now, so it has to be him. Liverpool are turning into the Wimbledon of the 80s, long ball merchants. Well, why wouldn't they? I mean, let's be honest. Your name there, Hoddle. Did he play long balls? Yes. Was it Wimbledon style? No. What they're doing today isn't Wimbledon style either. It's not humping it up to a 6'6" centre forward, is it? It's you know, you can't criticise it when the bloke in your name was a master of it. Christ. Gordon Bennett. No one's seen this coming. As far as starts go, you can't get any worse than this. Complete freak show. It has been. RCR Paul has had his pick taken with Lauren Robert. Well, Tony T and the Revenge of the Crumpet Men. Anyone but effing Liverpool. That's a great name, by the way. Trippier played one for both goals and he had the line to look along. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think that's why he embarrassedly called for the handball, you know, but he wasn't far away. Just unfortunately, they didn't have a proper close in on it, but it looked like he just missed it. More luck than judgment, though. Northumberland George has a complete shambles. Jordan Ricard says, Darlow isn't in goal, mate. He's at Hull. It's not 3 matches, it's 1 match, and it's going to be Karius if he's fit. If he's not fit, we could be looking at a Jack Annick type situation. It could be stepping down to the youth team goalkeeper. But I don't know. Fox has put in that 25 minutes, but all things considered, proud of the players. Exactly, I agree with that. We can't, mate. He's not on the bench. Casemiro isn't banned for the cup final. No, he isn't. A lot of people asking which goalkeeper. We don't know. I imagine the people at St James's Park. Sorry, Star, I didn't even know you wanted one, pal. Oh, Jesus Christ. I will send you one now. I know it's a bit late for the first half, but full time perhaps. Let's send Stato a link. I don't think he can come on now, or maybe he can join me for the second half. But we'll send him a link. Oh, shit. Well, Stato, for some reason it's not letting me send links on Twitter. I've tried to send you a link twice. We'll try again. Second half is about to begin anyway, but we'll try and get you on for the half full time. Brian's back down to it. This is all right. Just go for top 6. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Brian. Anyway, that's the comments done with. We'll go back to the game. We'll get the banner back on. We're about to kick off the second half. I will attempt to get stats on at full time. For some reason, it's not letting me do it. Weird. Anyway, we have kicked off and we're already on an attack. We'll get the comments back up. Maxi has the ball in the area. Bright start again. Could come wide for Trippier here. He does. Longstaff it was. Little floaty ball looking for Isaac. Little head down. Ain't a bad one, but Alisson's a fantastic goalkeeper. And he steps in and takes the ball and rolls it out. And Liverpool on the attack with Robertson. Poor ball from him. Share intercepts. He's going to lose. That's a foul from Nunez. And eventually Andy Taylor gives it. Took him forever. Kieran Trippier has a free kick then. It's... In the last 117 games, when Liverpool have been ahead at half-time, they've won 107 of them and drew 10. They've not lost one. That's poor free kick from Trippier. Appalling, in fact. And we're on the back foot already. Alexander-Arnold with the ball in back. Miggy's done well to go back here. Don't be getting sent off, Miggy, for fuck's sake. Did brilliantly in the end. Because they were on in the shit there. Again, from a poor Kieran Trippier free kick. Anyway, the ball is with Robertson. Into Nunez, back to Van Dijk. I'm going to try again to send this link. Back the ball is with the Liverpool centre halves. Link sent that over full time, buddy. Sorry about that, mate. Liverpool on the attack with Gomez. He goes wide to Alexander-Arnold. He's been faced up there by Joe Linton. Little ball over the top of Joe Linton to Alexander-Arnold. And Joe Linton does really well, actually. And gets it cleared. It hits the back of... God, blimey. Joe Linton cleared it. And it's hit the back of the head of Sean Longstaff and KO'd him. Not expecting it. It's unbelievable. Some of the things that happened today, I don't think you ever seen before. He's done a Bernard on him. He's done a Robert Bernard stuff. Exactly the same. And he's Longstaff's on his knees now. He looks okay. Just bizarre. Bizarre. There are lots of trolls out today, Brian. You're quite right. I'm not reading them. Longstaff's okay. There'll be a drop ball now in our own penalty area. The physios are talking to each other. Parents have thought that Longstaff would be able to play in the cup final because of a concussion thing. Well, the ball is at the feet of Martin Dubravka. The Mods are doing very well, Sophie. You're quite right. Don't forget, folks, I know it's a terrible game. We're getting beat. We're down to 10 men. But if you like what you're seeing, hit this way. Give us a thumbs up. And if you're new, give us a subscribe also. Super chats are also available. I know it's not the kind of day to kind of be dishing money out because you're in a good mood. But still, if you fancy it, the dollar sign's there to hit also. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. Maximan's been superb today, I've got to say. It's gone past another 3. Cuts inside, that's 4 he's gone past. Max is going through the middle. He's going to run out of legs here, surely. Goes wide to Isaac. Brilliant for Maximan. Now Trippier. Trippier comes inside, little ball it's under here, and it's intercepted by Robertson. Trippier does get a foot in and puts it out for throwing. St. Maximan has been fantastic today. Absolutely fantastic. ball has been spread to the far side of the pitch from Robertson to Alexander-Arnold. Little ball for the middle. Gakpo has it now. He looks for Salah, so he's got one-on-one here with Dan Burn. Can Dan Burn hold him up? Well, kick inside. Back outside to Henderson. He's made an overlap. Ball cross comes in. Nunez is there, but it's good header away from Trippier. By Shetik. Now Robertson. And now Joe Gomez. He's had a roller coaster ride. I'm so sorry, riding a Rolls Royce at the back here. So, he's not up to mark anyone. And yet Liverpool still have looked a bit dodgy from set pieces. But at the minute, Gomez has played it square to Van Dijk. And now it's down here for Robertson. Now Van Dijk again. Just trying to draw us out again. Keep ball at the minute for Liverpool. Robertson inside by Setic. Now Van Dijk, Gomez in the centre circle. Wide he goes to Alexander-Arnold. Newcastle setting up in a 4-3-2 system at the minute. And Newcastle do win the ball back. He doesn't maintain it. He does brilliantly, and he's fouled. And we get a free kick. Foul from Trent. There's Bruno in the crowd. Games with 17, wins 10, goals per game 1.8, games without 5, games 5, wins 0. Speaks volumes, that, doesn't it? And he's currently signing his shirt. Newcastle do have the ball wide here with Kieran Trippier. Max has made a great run. He gets it too on his right side, so he can go. Got 2 men on him. Gets a cross into Isak. Isak turns and just puts it wide. Good effort, but should have done better because his control. Well, the ball was slightly behind him, so for what he had, he did really well. Yeah, it's slightly behind him. He probably had a little bit more time than he thought he had. Great effort. It's not far over the top and not far wide at all. It's really it's a great effort. It's that far over the top, and it would have been in the corner a foot further down. Again, brilliant for Maxi, but it's currently with Gakpo. The attacking side of the game doesn't look too bad. It's the defending side. Anyway, it's with Nunez now. Trippier dives, gets kicked in the head there. Oh, dear me. Nunez just kicked Kieran Trippier in the head. I don't think it's deliberate. Oh, that looked nasty. That looked nasty. Trippier's on his knees, and for some reason, Nunez is down holding something. When Trippier's up and he's away. But VAR may want to have a look at this. The top mob says, why is Maxi on fire? Why Maxi's on fire? Because he has more space with a man down. We need to take advantage of our strength. Yeah, but he was on fire before we went for a man down. I don't know if VAR are going to have a look at this. Because Trippier makes a tackle, comes away with the ball. Oh, he's not doing it on purpose. He's not doing it on purpose. Changes and Firmino's coming on, and so's Diogo Jota. So when Newcastle think they get a bit of respite, on come Firmino and Jota, 2 fine players in their own right. Longstaff has it. Square to share. Cross centre Sven Botman. Yes, Foxy, it was, yeah. You're right, it was like the Cisse chance against Villa. And yeah, Newcastle do have a corner. A good ball from Burn, actually, looking for the run of Maxi. Been a game winner all day today. People have criticised him for his attitude and his lack of effort at times, but well, today has been off the scale. Trippier with an in-swinging corner. It's another deep one. Alisson comes out. Oh, it's a header. It's just, Fabian Schär's got a 50p piece for a head. Would have been easy to score. He's 4 yards out. It's hit the side of his head instead of the front of it, and it's gone 10 yards wide. Great delivery from Trippier once again. His set-piece balls have been good today, which is kind of the usual opposite to how he plays, isn't it? Because usually we compliment his defending, and sometimes his set pieces ain't great. But today it's been the role reversal. You know, Liverpool are threatened. They're a little bit rattled here, I think. Don't know if they're trying to lure us into false sense of security, but they've given the ball away. We have a throw in just short of the halfway line, which Miggy is going to leave for Dan Burn. And at the minute, Joe Linton has it, and he has it again. He's been pressured into Maxi, back to Joe Linton, and now Fabian. No, it's not Fabian Schär. It's Miggy. He's playing in the 6 at the minute. Joe Linton goes past one, plays for Maxi, and Maxi comes inside as well to maintain the ball. Ball comes square for Trippier. Maxi's definitely favouring the right-hand side. Good run made there from Longstaff, and Trippier ignored him, and he's going to lose the ball. In fact, he's fouled. Clever play there from Trippier. Mod, you've been fantastic today. I've seen some of these comments. Some of them are horrific, but you're doing fantastic. Big kudos to you guys. Back there, backstage, so to speak. And it's a free kick to Newcastle, which Trippier's floating, looking for Newcastle head to go over the top of Schär's head. Jump in the area, will fall for... Oh, it didn't fall for Dan Burn. And it's cleared from Liverpool. Well played from Trippier to win the header. Little flick on from Dan Burn. Could work here. Maxi's in. Burns down injured, by the way. No, he's not. Ball down the side here. We're in trouble here. Nunez going up against Trippier. Trippier's squaring him up. Nunez. Oh, it's a great save. Dubravka was going for the far corner. Brilliant save, Dubravka, to get down low and parry it wide for a corner. Super save. Super save. Well played from Nunez. Cut inside. Used Trippier as a shield. Bent it round him. Going into the far corner. And it was a fantastic save from Martin Dubravka. Credit where credit's due there. Brilliant. Brilliant. Going to be a corner for Liverpool. Nunez is down injured, actually. He's holding his shoulder, which he was holding when he accidentally kicked Trippier in the face a minute ago. Farhad's right. We aren't playing bad. It's just one of those games. We had just 2 or 3 mistakes that have cost us, haven't we? 4 subs being added here by Liverpool. Harvey Elliott's coming on. Jota, Firmino, and James Milner, who looks, well, he doesn't look like the baby-faced kid we used to have. He's got a face full of stubble. Very much a different kind of James Milner we're seeing now. Of course, we had him 20-odd years ago. And gone off has been Gakpo, Nunez. I don't know how else gone off. Henderson, who's given Milner the captain's armband, and who else is going off? Bicetic's going off. Norvik thinks he has a cracked or broken clavicle. Jay Devlin says Milner's a legend. Big respect. Well, he's a fantastic professional, isn't he? Fantastic professional. Anyway, it's a corner for Liverpool, and they're going to go short. No one's even thought about the short corner, but Miggy does get out to it and gets a block in. Maxi could get this. No, doesn't. It goes to Fabinho. A little lob ball over the top. Joe Linton misses out, and Alexander Arnold uncharacteristically doesn't control it, and it goes off his shins for goal kick. Absolutely pouring down the rain at St James's. Klopp's been very quiet today for some reason, hasn't he? He's not had any reason to have a go at the referees or anything today, so he's yes, he's been very, very quiet and oh dear me, I don't like it when we do that. And we've given the ball away. We try to play from deep, and all we've done is give Alexander Arnold the ball 20 yards out. Joe Linton blocks it. Firmino, clever little pass, clever little play. Firmino, isn't he? The ball is with Joe Gomez now at the back. He squares it for Van Dijk just on the halfway line. He comes forward and plays it square for Jota, back to Robertson. Now Milner. And if you thought the possession play was bad before, you've got some experts at it now. Milner and people like that. Back, it's little one-two for football. Van Dijk and Milner, one touch back again. Now Gomez, back to Van Dijk. They're obviously making the man advantage count here. Robertson, ball inside. Not through the cross from Robertson ain't great, and Dubravka should get it. Fumbled it, but Dan Burn's covering for him and he gets rid of it. Ball's going to the top. Now Maxi's in here. Maxi 1-on-1 with Van Dijk. What's your pace like, Maxi? Oh, he's got 3 on him. Maxi went himself and blasted over the bar. Yeah, the pace slacking slightly. He's not quite 100% full fitness, is he? But he did great to anticipate it. And if he just had the extra yard of pace, could have got in on goal. In the end, he had to go against 2 of them. He tried to blast it into the top corner, just about a yard or 2 over. Burn did well to muscle Fabinho out of there, and the little chip one over the top overhit. Gomez can cover and does do, and plays it back to Alisson ahead of St. Maximin. Alisson plays it inside St. Maximin to Milner, who's come deep for it. Milner floats one. Oh, ain't a good one, but it flicks off Isak's head and goes straight into the path of Robertson. Robertson in square now inside for Firmino. Firmino draws 4 men. Little ball to Robertson. Cross comes in, and Dubravka gathers on his 6-yard line. Dangerous cross, probably a bit close to the keeper though. Joe Linton now. Joe Linton steps inside one and plays it for Miggy. He's now playing in a central midfield role. Been everywhere today, Miggy. Now Isak. Isak has the ball at his feet, leaves it behind, and we lose it. Firmino tried to get it back. Isak didn't work. Firmino with a nice pass through to Elliott. Now they were in each other's way. Jota and Firmino did brilliantly to actually keep hold of the ball. Now Jota, corner of the area, going against Trippier, goes on the outside, fires it across and goes out for throwing. Was a shot. (62), nearly 63 minutes gone. 2-0 to Liverpool still, as this says. We are down to 10 men. The tragedy of the whole game really is that Nick Pope was sent off for a handball outside the area. Here's the usual subs. It's Gordon, Wilson and Murphy. They're going to come on for Isak, Miggy, and I'm going to guess Maxi. No, it's not. It's Trippier. Trippier's coming off for Murphy. So Maxi stays on. Miggy's off. Isak's off. Gordon's on. Murphy's going to play as a right wing back, I imagine. Well, it could get nasty. And Wilson's replaced Isak up front. But Maxi's staying on, and Gordon's also on. He's going to cause some havoc, hopefully, for us. And now Newcastle have the ball. We've given it away deep in our own half again. Foul for Joe Linton. The referee plays on. There will be a foul there on Wilson. Well played, Wilson. And Gordon takes it quickly. Now Longstaff. Longstaff probably will go backwards. Should have gone backwards there, but in the end it falls to Murphy. I think they may have gone to 3 at the back, folks. I'm not certain, but I think they may have done. Or maybe not, because Burns still out wide on that left-hand side. He has it now. Back he goes to Maxi. Now to Joe Linton, back to Maxi. Might give it back to Joe Linton. No, he comes inside to Share instead. We're playing Jacob Murphy at right back, folks. Joelinton goes past 2, little ball through for Wilson, goes for the return, gets it 2. Joelinton brilliantly goes from distance, deflected. Will fall for Murphy, but he lets it go out for a throw-in. And nice bit of football there between Wilson and Joelinton. Little 1-2. Joelinton let fly from distance, but it was blocked. Murphy has a throw-in. It's going to go back to Longstaff, I think. No, it's gone even further back to Fabian Scher. Scher has it. Scher will cross the ball in. He doesn't. He goes square in centre Botman. Playing very high up the pitch again here, folks. So if we lose it, expects a long ball for Salah to chase. But Gordon has it in a minute. Little ball inside for Longstaff. Stepped inside, got 2 on him. Longstaff did well. Was fouled as well. Best played advantage. Murphy has it. Now we'll go back to Gordon. And in fact, the referee does give the free kick in the end. Does he? Don't know why he didn't play the advantage, but he hasn't. Maybe a yellow card for the foul from Milner. Yeah, it should be a yellow card, actually. That's a yellow card offence. Did he give him? No, I don't think he did. But the ref gave a free kick in the end, which, well, we're not going to see Kieran Trippier take it. It's going to be Anthony Gordon, in fact. Trippier not on the pitch, has been substituted. So what's Gordon's deliveries like, I wonder? Here he goes, floats it with his right foot. It's not a bad one, got a lot of bend on it, but it's headed away. Maxey's gone to retrieve it on that left flank. Might let it go. No, he doesn't. Oh, there's a flag for offside. How can you be offside from a freaking your own free kick, man? It's pathetic. Van Dijk in his own area with Gomez getting pressure from Maxey. Then it's gone wide, and Joelinton's going to pressurise Alexander-Arnold, but there's a man spare every time. This time it's Van Dijk, and he's coming out of his own penalty area, and he's played it out to Andrew Robertson. He goes back to Van Dijk. I expect to see a little bit of dynamism from Gordon today. Well, obviously we've seen it all the time, but I think it might be a good thing for us if we can get in amongst their centre half. Let's get one of them sent off. Great ball from Liverpool there. Tried a bit too complicated. Again, it was very iffy from Botman, but Dan Burn got him out of the cart there. So once again, Dan Burn did really well. Played it inside for Longstaff. Longstaff's got him on his back and he doesn't know it yet. Salah, he took it straight off him, ran past him. A great tackle, Longstaff, but he's not going to get there before Salah. Salah has the edge of the area. Salah, great header away from Botman this time. To Fabinho, and Liverpool are pressuring now. Harvey Elliott's tried to curve one. Camera save from Dubravka. It was right in his arms, yet he still dove for it. Still 2-0. Joelinton is down at the minute. And this isn't a good sign either. But although Joelinton does like a bit of treatment, but he's holding the back of his hamstring, in fact. His right hamstring. This is just. This would be. If Joelinton was to be injured as well, it'd just sum the day up, wouldn't it? He's holding the back of his hamstring anyway. His legs getting stretched. I'm hoping it's cramp rather than obviously a tear. Did he pull up with an injury? Gone past 2. Oh, he's doing it. That's his. Well, after his 1-2, he's shot. So he weren't injured there, or was he? Yes, he's holding the back of his right hamstring there, bottom of his arse. So he's fought with twins, and it was going to carry on. And he's got a smile on his face, so he doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, Foxy makes a good point. Liverpool do have an important game with Real Madrid on Tuesday. So they are going to slow the game down. Anyway, Matt Ritchie's going to come on, and it might even be for Joelinton. £5 super chat from Red Chilli. Liverpool fan, this is the only channel that is actually commentating. Thank you. Like, subscribe. Red Chilli, well done, mate. Very much appreciate that. Try to be as well, I'm always going to be biased, but, you know, you've got to give credit where credit's due, and Jurgen Klopp's tactics have done a job on us today, and that's how it is. Joelinton's come back on, by the way. Joe Linton says it's okay to play on. He said he was okay, but he's still going to make the change anyway. Obviously, been rested now for the final. Joe Linton's gone off, and Matt Ritchie's going to come on. But Joe Linton didn't want to go off, but obviously, this is with an eye of next week, the game next week. Eddie Howe explaining to him that there's bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish to fry. Next week's game is more important, and obviously we're already going in without our goalkeeper. To go in without our enforcer would be criminal. Anyway, Liverpool do almost give the ball away there to Anthony Gordon, but they do get away with it. He is buzzing around like a bee at the minute, but Liverpool do get away. Alexander-Arnold goes wide to Salah, ball inside, then to Firmino's a bad ball. And Newcastle are trying to create trouble for themselves here. Dubravka, well, that's why Dubravka doesn't play for Newcastle anymore. Might as well put a couple of casters on his feet. Cleared it straight out of play, and Liverpool do have the ball back, and back they go to the halfway line, where Van Dijk and Gomez and Robertson will play it amongst themselves. Match stats on again. We've had 4 more shots in Liverpool, but they have 3 more on target, and they also have 62% possession. Ball is currently with Harvey Elliott in the middle of the park. He's going to look for a ball down here. He plays it to Virgil van Dijk. Now Milner, who sat behind him, Milner's ball was aimless, and so was the header actually from Matt Ritchie, in fact. Also, bad defensive error from Botman there, but we've got away with it, luckily. Now it's with Ritchie. Deflect off. Arnold will go for a throw-in. Which we will take on that left-hand flank. And it's Dan Burn with the ball in his hands, looking for someone to throw it to. He's got no one running for him at the minute. He's had the ball in his hands for 20 seconds now. Still no one can throw it to. He goes to Ritchie in the end. And Ritchie just shins it out of play. .72 on the clock. Still 2-0 to Liverpool. Cakewalk for them, really. We have made a real game of it, considering we've got 10 men. And they've got to be praised for that. Certainly some Maximan, Isak, Miggy, Longstaff to a certain extent, Joe Linton to a certain extent also, and Dan Burn. I've got to give him a lot of credit today. Anyway, Liverpool do have the ball at the minute with Robertson, who's robbed there from Murphy, and it will be a throw into Liverpool. Good tackle from Murphy. Throws back to Van Dijk, square to Joe Gomez, and Maxi will put the pressure on again. Sven Botman covering, little flick there to Dan Burn. And Dan Burn gives it back to Salah, but it goes out of play. Longstaff with the ball now. Did well there. Ball through there for Wilson. And he plays it wide for Murphy. He's gone for the return. Murphy didn't see it. He plays it for Gordon instead. Little flick from Gordon back to Murphy. Murphy turns inside, swivels inside. Firmino does really well. And plays it square for Dan Burn. He's got Matt Ritchie on that far flank. Here's Ritchie now. Going against Arnold. The opposite not going to double up on him. But they did almost, because Elliott came across to help. The ball is back with Fabian Schär in the centre circle now. Fabian Schär comes forward. Little ball was a poor one, and it was intercepted by Robertson. And then Liverpool on the counter here, and it's Jota. Jota plays it inside. Now it's Elliott. There's nothing better. Oh, there's someone managed to contrive a miss from an open goal, but brilliant football to get there. Wilson has it. And a long raking pass here for Maxi on his right-hand side. He's everywhere today, Maxi. Going against Robertson. Cuts inside. That was going on the outside. Ball, it's a great pass too to Murphy, I think. Now it's with Matt Ritchie on that far flank. Sent a bit far wide, actually. So he comes back. Longstaff. Here he is on the edge of the area. Wide to Murphy. Could give it to Maxi again. Maxi has it here now. Not seeing Gordon getting involved. Murphy, now Gordon gets involved. Now Maxi. Again, 4 men around him. Goes square inside for Fabian Scher, who's quite high up the pitch. He's going to come back to Anthony Gordon on his right-hand side. Little 1-2. Little turn inside from Longstaff. Ball then to Murphy. Murphy's gone all the way on the far side to Richie. Trying to create an extra space here. Richie cuts inside. And back he comes again. Now it's with Botman. Ball in. Great ball it was too, but wasn't controlled by Longstaff. Great pass from Botman, just poorly controlled. Scher had it now. 2 against 2 at the back here. Botman will go to Dan Burn. Now to Matt Ritchie should get it, and he does. And Newcastle playing really well. Considering we've got 10 minutes, it's great. It really is. The result's shit. What's happened is shit. But God, this is fantastic show here. Gordon 1-2. Might fall for Gordon. Didn't fall for him in the end. Look at one ricochet went his way. The second one didn't. Botman's been caught out again. But Dan Burn again will get him out of the car. That one out of play, by the way, but they're played on. Botman with a raking pass, looking for, it's a great one too, looking for Maxi. Will he get there? No, he doesn't. Good covering there from Rob Robertson. But great ball from Botman, looking for Murphy. In fact, it wasn't Maxi. Again, it could be 3 back. No, Gordon has it. Gordon has it now to Murphy. Lofted back to Maxi, who's about 30 yards from goal. Again, running at the Liverpool defenders with no care. Burn. Now Richie. This has been a brilliant 5 minutes play. Deserves a goal. There's a great header from Van Dijk to get it off the head of Wilson. But this is, guys, this is fantastic. Honest to God. You just know in the past, this would have been a right hiding. Who can forget the 5 that we took against, was it can't remember whose team it was. I think it might have been Allardyce, wasn't it? No, when Allardyce was it, but that was Kinnear, wasn't it? Kinnear's team. This has been fantastic. This half, there's been mistakes still. We've got away with a little bit. But the effort, the character, has been brilliant. Great pass from Maxi Man there, looking for Murphy down his right flank. First on cross into the side netting. Southgate's in the crowd. Chipper sights are in. Anyway, Alexander Arnold has it. Yeah, this is the circumstances of this game and the situation we've found ourselves in, this is a measure of what we've come from and what we are now. To actually, I know Liverpool are taking it easy. But the character we've shown here has been immense. Immense. And I think we deserve a goal, actually. We've hit the woodwork twice. And we're pressurising them into making mistakes now, and we have a throw-in because of it. Murphy this time with the pressure. Maxi's come short for it, and he's got it. He'll go all the way across there to Sven Botman. Square will go to Bernal, who can deflate one. Now he's going to come to Longstaff, I think. Longstaff picks it up. Longstaff's first touch ain't great, but he does get away to Gordon, and he plays it square to Murphy. Gordon goes to the return. He should have the pace on Milner all day long. Have a go at him. Have a go at Anthony. Anthony goes in the box, and Milner does superbly. Just stands his ground, waits for Gordon to make his move, and just calm as you like, takes the ball off his boot. A little flick there, which ain't great. This is not what Jurgen Klopp would like to see. Maxi's picked it up. Max has gone past one. Trying to get it on his right foot. In the end, he plays with Dan Bird. The ball inside if he wants to play it to Longstaff. Oh, and Trent Alexander-Arnold cuts it out and has gone past 3 and is now motoring through that ball he played out. Great play from Trent. Salah's in here, one-on-one. Bird's trying to get back. He's going to cut inside you. Great slide back there. Great defensive work from Matt Ritchie to get in and stop Salah getting a shot on goal. Red Chilli says we deserve a goal, just don't get another. But good effort from Rich to get back there. But the bit of play from Alexander-Arnold before that was absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. Intercepted in his own penalty area, then galloped the length of the pitch. Played Salah in. But before the ball could get to Salah, Matt Ritchie had managed to track back and deflect it for a corner, which will be taken. Approaching the 80 minutes on the clock, it's going to be taken by, I think it's Robertson out there. It's an out-swinger. Looking for that Van Dijk, doesn't fall to Van Dijk. It wasn't Robertson taking the corner because he's now on the ball. It's with Gomez. Square he goes. Fabinho back to Gomez. Gomez goes past Longstaff and wide for Robertson. Now Milner. Ball inside. Robertson falls over. Gordon with a nice bit of play in his own area, but loses out Gordon. Terrible play. The shot from Salah was appalling, and Dubravka threw his cap on it. But in the end, Gordon was trying to do too much, and a bit of inexperience from the young lad. He would have got away with a bit of magic in the box, and Burns tried to outpace him all here. But there is pressure on Alisson, but Alisson calmly plays it. As a proper footballer would, inside Wilson to Van Dijk. Brilliant bit of play there from Alisson. 81 minutes on the clock, still 2-0. Milner picks it up with a great little flick there from Elliott, and it was Firmino actually, and Milner's mounting towards the box. And I thought it was a foul there, but the referee's played on. Now Gordon's got the pace to win past all these, but he's lost it to Fabinho. Gordon's been robbed twice now, once from Milner and once from Fabinho. Neither of them got anything near his pace. Murphy has it. Ball down the line, into no one in particular. In between Wilson and Maximan and Van Dijk. Ets it up all day. Now Alexander-Arnold has it. It's end-to-end stuff at the moment, actually. Far side of the pitch. Elliott. Now Alexander-Arnold, and now Firmino. It's a poor one. Gordon's managed to get a foot in. Now you're quick, Gordon. Go for the middle. He's got choices either way. Gordon goes to Ritchie. Oh, Ritchie was... it's Wilson. Terrible from Wilson. Should have scored. Just had no confidence and rolled it straight into Alisson, who just made an easy save. Well played from Gordon, but Wilson was... Well, I'm afraid he should have scored there. But Alisson was superb to save. Liverpool now on the attack with Milner, and now Robertson on this left flank. Back he goes to Milner. Milner goes back to Van Dijk, and again, Liverpool trying to take the sting out of it, because when they do try and play a little bit on the front foot, we cause them trouble. Elliott has it. Salah, Elliott, Fabinho. Back to Milner. And now back over to Robertson, being approached by Murphy. Done well, actually, since he's come on the right back, Murphy. This time he's been caught out there because the ball's gone in behind him, and it's with Jota on the byline. Overhits across. Will be retrieved by Alexander-Arnold. Trent played it back. Just almost intercepted by Burn. It's going to fall to Fabinho. Burn gets in the way again, and now the ball comes out to Maxi. Maxi should give it Gordon. Yeah, Gordon should go now, and Max didn't get the pass in. And good tackle from Milner on Maxi, and that looks a bad one. Very physical tackle on Maxi there. Dubravka comes out and tidies up. Maxi did get a rap on the shins there, to be fair to him. Ball will be kicked out. Was it a foul by Milner? Very physical tackle. Oh, I'll tell you what. Very Bruno-esque tackle, that. He hasn't got the ball there. That's a no, referee. How you've not given that a yellow card and a free kick is beyond me. Didn't get the ball. Match is okay, though, which is one good thing. But this is where Gordon should have scored here. Wilson should have scored. Gordon took the players away, played it through. Too casual, just trying to play it with his left foot into it. What he thought was an empty net. He went, actually didn't. He went, well, Alisson did really well. He went back from where Alisson had came, the right thing to do. But Alisson spread himself superbly and managed to get his foot in the way, which is a good save. So I've been a bit dirty there on Callum Wilson. Another great bit of play from Maximan. Ball wasn't great, though. It was cut out by Salah. Now Fabinho has it in the middle of the park. 8-4 on the clock. Pressure again from Ritchie this time. Ritchie's put a lot of effort in since he's come on. And now Liverpool have the ball with Gomez, and he played it down to Robertson. in the left-back position. It's square for Milner, back to Van Dijk. And again, Liverpool will take patience play here. Milner, Van Dijk just playing amongst themselves. No real pressure coming in from Gordon. 85 on the clock. Van Dijk. Now Gomez. Alisson to Van Dijk. And now Robertson. And they've finally created a little bit of space to come forward. But not enough for them. They've gone back again to Van Dijk. And now Alisson. And Wilson's only just come on the pitch, so he should be able to get a bit of pressure on, but he hasn't. And Alexander-Arnold has it. And that could be a poor Alisson. Just fantastic reading of the game. Because it was a poor pass from Alexander-Arnold. Maxi was on it, but Alisson stepped up, took the ball away. Fantastic bit of goalkeeping. Botman did very well there, actually. Now Longstaff. Now Richie. Richie's pass is blocked by Firmino. Dive in there from Richie, and it goes out for a throw-in. It's actually Dan Burn who got back and made a very physical tackle. And, I'll tell you what, he got the ball in the end, but he kicked Salah first. Anyway, lovely little touch there from Jota. And a foot in there from Longstaff, and it goes for corner. Up there, one says, we can't be disappointed with our performance as a whole. You forget they are playing with 10 men. ASM excellent, Dan Burn much better. Yeah, couldn't agree more, mate. Those two have really shone today. Dave Bull wants to see Maxi down the right and Gordon down the left a bit. Yeah, it might work. Might work. Anyhow, Robertson will take this corner, and it's going to be an outswinger again. But he's gone straight to Harvey Elliott. Again, they've missed a short corner. Elliott crosses it in, looking for someone at the far post, nodding back, and it's gone for a corner off Dan Burn's head, I believe, who's now got the captain's armband. And he would be very proud to be holding that. Bit of shoving going in the box here for this corner. Gone short again. We've been susceptible now. Oh, should have scored. Jota, 3 yards out from goal, heads it wide. Fahad said even Richie is a pleasant surprise, playing quite well. Yeah, I agree. He should have the legs for 20 minutes, to be fair to him. And he's always going to give his all, isn't he? He's always going to give his all. And Kendo says exactly that as I say it. Jota should have scored there. Should be 3-0. Burn did well again there. Actually, it was Botman that time. It's looked a lot harder for Botman today. I've got to be honest. It's not been as easy as what it's usually been for him. Burns just did that cut inside and got away with it this time and played it in for Longstaff. Longstaff's going to spray it all the way from Murphy down in his bottom right flank. And Murphy's going to lose out. No, he does well to get it back. Now Gordon, who's come back to help him. Now Cher. Cher's pass is aimless and Liverpool will win the ball back. Max is putting a bit of pressure on Milner. He owes him one. But Milner does well to cut it inside for Jota. Now for Firmino. Clever little play from Firmino. Now Elliott floats outside then for Arnold. Arnold down his right-hand side. Long cross, looking for Jota. That's a great... Oh, it's got an inch wide. Brilliant move from Liverpool. Got to give them credit. Fantastic move, that. Alexander-Arnold's been superb today for them in an attacking role. Defensively a bit iffy, but it's a great header from Jota, actually. It's diving to reach it, stretching. And God, it's only got an inch or two wide. Unbelievable. Tiredness showing now, I think, for the lads. They've really run their hearts out today. In extenuating circumstances, real tough. Gordon with a lovely bit of trickery there, actually. Played it down for Wilson, who's let the ball go over his foot. Was he fouled? No, I don't think he was. Van Dijk goes back to Alisson, who was getting pressure. Gordon picks it up. He's going to lose out, though, to Elliott, and we'll give him a free kick away. No, he doesn't, because the referee played advantage. Robertson down the left flank. Firmino robbed. Murphy in the right back position will go back to Dubravka, I think. He does. 90 minutes are up, and we're going to have 3 minutes just of injury time. Tony T and the Revenge of the Quimmen, stop giving Liverpool credit. They're playing 10 men. Can you play what's in front of them, mate? You got to give them credit when they play some good football, and they have played a little bit of good football today. Man of the match, an 2-0 defeat against with 10 men is Alan St. Maximan. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Anyway, Liverpool on the attack again. It's going to be 3-0 now because Jota's in on goal. Round Dubravka. And it's cleared off the line. We've rode our luck at times a little bit the last 5 minutes. The legs have gone now for most of the players. Robertson. Back to Milner. Just 2 minutes more to go. Van Dijk has it. Little ball from Jota. Going to fall. Luckily, it's for Liverpool. They win again here. Burns did brilliantly to come and step across. Going to give a corner away in the end, but God, he's run his legs off today. Another one who's in the contention for the man of match performance. And Andy Robertson's given him a bit of help for cramp. Burns been superb. Been absolutely superb. He saved our skins on 4 or 5 occasions. And where some of the back four have been found wanting today, Dan Burns certainly hasn't been one of them. He's been a shining beacon amongst some very dull backgrounds, to be honest. He's been very good in a back four that hasn't worked today. Liverpool maintaining the ball again in the final minute of the game. Ball in the back again, Jota. And this time it's Botman who steps into block. Firmino. Ball inside for Milner. Milner 1-2, looking for 1-2 with Salah. Doesn't get it because he can get the ball back. Gets it back in the end. No, he doesn't, because Mackey's back to help out. Oh, dear me. I think Longstaff went in on Milner there and got away with one. Now it's with Firmino. Firmino trying to give Murphy the run around. Murphy did brilliantly to get the ball off him, and it'll be a goal kick. Well played, Jacob Murphy. Game's up here, guys and girls. 13, 12, 10 seconds to go. It's a 2-0 defeat against what can only be described as a workmanlike performance from Liverpool. Dynamic detailing, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Well done, Billy. Not an easy game to stay so positive. Well, we've got something more to look forward to next week. And I'm still confident we can do something next week despite this. That's it, folks. Eddie Howe and Jurgen Klopp, shake hands. Jurgen Klopp has done his homework today. He's noticed the high line, long ball football, which they've been playing quite a bit of anyway, as we alluded to on Thursday. But he caught us out in the first half when we had 11 men with long balls, and it's those long balls that's actually cost us our goalkeeper for the final next week. There you go. Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 2. Hopefully Alex will join us for this little bit of a conflab after the game for 5 or 10 minutes. I've sent him the link. What do we have comments-wise? Let's get rid of that banner. Actually, let's not get rid of it. Let's have it on so people, if they are joining new, can see it. I mean, in a game where we get beaten 10-0, with 10 men, 2-0. Salah St. Maximan to get man of the match was a quite astonishing performance from a man who has been ridiculed on here by certain people in the chat and in other people's chats too, and other channels. Other channels have ridiculed him, actually. Phenomenal performance from him. Phenomenal. Jurgen Klopp looks very happy with life, and so he should be. He's only one team's beaten this year, folks, in the league, and that's Liverpool. And Strangely enough, the last time I commentated on a defeat was Liverpool last season. So, yeah, a bit of a jinx for all of us, aren't they? Bit of a jinx for all of us. We have replaced a Wilson man. We spent £60 million to do it. Yeah, people are saying that Wilson weren't great. Worst part of this game is the red card for Pope, so missed the final. It was always just a game that had to be dealt with easy without injuries or red cards. We failed that, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a poor result, and I'm not looking forward to work next week. I've got to be honest, because there are lots of Liverpool supporters where I work. Here's my mate Statter. I'm glad he's come to join us. Let's hide this comment and we'll get him in. Hide. Stat. There he is. Hi, Alex. How you doing, buddy?
Well, not great, but it is what it is. Strange performance. Very strange day. Strangely enough, I think we did all right after the 2 goals.
Yeah, I agree.
Scrambling. I think it gave us that lift. I think we've struggled to have that desire. You know, there's a phrase that, you know, the wolf climbing the mountain is always hungriest, and I feel like we've in the last month to 6 weeks we've been a little bit complacent. And after 2-0 down and a man sent off, the lads all of a sudden had that fight again and desire, and we played some good football. It was just too much to try and salvage, unfortunately. And yeah, shame about Pope. It's not something we expected to happen, but he knew as soon as he'd done it. It's just a shame.
We spoke on Thursday about Liverpool have transferred to a long ball system. They used that today, didn't they? An awful lot first half to go over the top of our centre halves and beat us with pace. And that's what's cost us our goalkeeper in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a few people tried to argue about that, but I think it was very clear that they were going to play a transitional game and try and use the pace of their forwards. And they did. And Cher and Botman got caught out for the first goal, just split. They just got, I don't know what happened. They just literally did the splits. So much space for him to run into. A few people criticising Trippier for the offside trap. That's in real time. That's a hard one to get right. I mean, you're talking fine margins there. It's not like it used to be with Lascelles where it was 3 or 4 yards. This was a lot closer.
I think the second goal you can have a go in for that, though, can't you?
I'd have to go back and have a look at the second goal again. Yeah, I think that one was a bit worse, but yeah, I mean, I think we're unfortunate to possibly not have had any goals. I think we deserved some. I mean, I've not actually brought up FOTMob yet. I'll do that in a minute, but I'm very disappointed in Wilson. I thought he was atrocious when he came on. I thought he was absolutely useless. And I don't like criticising Wilson because I love him, but that was shocking, absolutely shocking from him. I think we could have done with just keeping Isak on, really. Gordon was poor, really poor. I thought Maxi played excellent. Surprisingly, I'm surprised. A different version of him turned up today, a better version out of nowhere. I'm not sure when and how to get him to play like that. He just sometimes plays poor and sometimes does that, and he played a lot better. I think Sky gave him player of the match.
They did in the defeat. This comment here kind of is a great comment. Can we just take a moment? Alan Saint-Maximin was a leader, a warrior, orchestrator. Anyone who doesn't want him at the club needs to reconsider that perspective.
I think that's fair. I think he ran his heart out today. I think that's the most I've seen him run ever in defensive phases, trying to tackle. He was trying so much harder not to lose the ball, trying to be really careful with it. And he tried to join the press a lot more. It was better, much better. If he can do that going forward, then I think he can be part of the system. But he just needs to do that now. Maybe not player of the match every week, but he needs to do that in terms of be a bit more careful with the ball, contribute in the press, and just have a bit more energy and fitness. If he can give us that, then yeah, that's great. I mean, him and Isak were brilliant today. We fed the ball to both of them in a more dangerous way. I think it's just a shame. I put this in the comments at half time. I think it's a shame that on a day where it looked like Isak and Maxi started to click, everything else went wrong behind us.
Yes,
it's just a shame.
Yes. Another one that played well today that we've criticised quite a lot recently with Dan Burner. He had an absolute storm at left back.
Yeah, Dan Burn much better. I thought Longstaff did very, very well as well.
Yeah.
Longstaff and Burn were absolutely exhausted at the end of that. They absolutely ran their hearts out, and well done to both of them. Some of the lads, I go back to the analogy of the wolf is hungrier climbing the mountain. Some of those lads today, something switched. They went back to underdog mode and they just grinded. And it was despite it having the loss, I think. I'm not sure that's so bad going into the cup final. I think that warrior performance might help us. I think there's a silver lining there. I think they've had to grind. They need to sort of realign their mentality together now as a group. There are ways in which a defeat can destroy your motivation and mentality, but I don't think that's too bad. I think it was pretty much as soon as the red card came, I think it was a guaranteed loss, and it was about turning up and just being strong and finishing the game strong, and they did that. They did us proud. The guys that were left on the pitch, really, they tried very, very hard.
Yeah, lots of heart, character, and desire there, which we couldn't fault the lads for. Goalkeeping situation. Who plays next week?
Right, so for people who haven't really thought about it, so obviously no Pope, suspended. Dubravka's cup tied because he played in the Carabao Cup for Man United. Darlow is on loan at Hull. I'm not even going to say Gillespie's name. I'm just going to keep that down.
Well, he's not even registered, so he can't play anyway.
He's not registered. Okay, so that leaves Karius, who a few people have said is injured. I'm not sure if that's true.
We've asked that because he's never been on the bench in the Carabao Cup, has he? So
true, but it doesn't mean he's not available.
No.
Again, it's something that journalists need to ask in press conferences, but never mind. I'm sure they will ask now. But I mean, Karius, we've seen him once. So for anybody who didn't see it, obviously he played in the friendly game in Saudi Arabia. Played very well. I think he played the first half and put up a good performance. Obviously, a lot of people are gonna point to the Champions League final in which he was concussed, which is why he was making mistakes. But I mean, it could be worse. I'd rather have Karius than Gillespie in goal. It is what it is. We'll have Bruno back, so we will look a lot stronger. We'll be a lot more balanced. It's not that bad, I don't think. I think it's still fine as long as we can make sure everybody's fit, nobody else gets injured. Hopefully, Joe Linton's hamstring isn't an issue because he did try and play on, and obviously Eddie just went off.
Well, he wanted to. He was saying he was fine. He was good. A bit of a cramp, perhaps, but I think Joe Linton will be fine for next week.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So we're going to go with Karius and on the pitch. Who's going to be on the bench?
It is, yeah. Well, maybe it's time to promote an academy goalkeeper. Surely we've got someone. We did sign somebody. Was it in the summer? I think it was around the time we signed a bunch of those youngsters. I think we signed was it from Scotland? I think from somewhere in Scotland we signed a young keeper to add to the development squad. I'm not sure what his name was though. It's going to have to be. There's no other choice. So, yeah.
And if Karius is injured, he could well be playing.
Oh God, don't. I mean, it is worth mentioning as well. I'm sure you mentioned this at the time, but I feel really sorry for Elliot Anderson because he was putting in a good shift, and it's ruined his debut. Really, his proper debut, and it's a real shame. And again, it's not through it's not like somebody did a horrible tackle. It was just unfortunate that Pope's just instinctively put his arm out, and then he's retracted it and gone, oh God, he knew.
Well, I think he tried to head it, and he's missed it with his head, and it's just rolled into his arm, doesn't he? So I don't think he deliberately handballed it, but the fact that he hadn't done it.
I think he did. No, I don't think he deliberately did it, but he did do it.
But it's a goal scoring opportunity if he didn't do it.
It was instinctive. He put his arm out, wrapped his hand around the ball. 100% red card, 100% handball.
Yeah.
Just a shame. I'm not 100% sure because a straight red is typically a 3-match ban. I've heard a few people
one match. Yeah, it's one.
Yeah,
match,
I've heard a few people say it's maybe a 1-match ban because of the circumstances. It's not classed as a dangerous tackle or anything. So yeah, that's good. I was a little bit concerned we might miss him for a couple of Premier League games as well. But if it's only the one, then at least he's back for the Premier League matches.
And to be fair, Dubravka didn't do too bad when he came on, did he? I mean, obviously, it's a different tone of goalkeeper, but he made some good saves, didn't he? So He's
I
not.
mean, they were getting in behind a lot more. I mean, a part of that was we were a man down, and part of that is because Dubravka does not sweep at all.
Yeah,
He does not come
yeah.
off his line at all. You know, he looks like he's out of his comfort zone if he's outside of his 6-yard box. Never mind the actual box. So you know that Liverpool could have added more potentially. We were quite fortunate, and this is why I think this is why we rated Dubravka so highly, because I think he makes himself look better because he positions himself so far back. He has to make more saves, which then makes him look good if he completes those saves. Whereas Pope positions himself a lot better and has to save half as many times because he can clear it himself. But for people criticising Pope for sweeper keeping, you've just got to remember that we've won a lot more points from that style of play than we have lost. So obviously today we've ended up losing points because of that style, but there have been many games earlier on in the season where we've gained points because of that style. So you know, it's a risky style, and occasionally it's going to go wrong, and it went wrong, unfortunately. It's not going to be the last time either. You know, look at Manuel Neuer. He's incredible when it works, and then when he gets caught in no man's land, he looks like an idiot. But it's with the territory. It's a risky play style.
Malagrint says, why is Ashby not getting on the bench at least?
It's a good question. Not sure.
He hasn't played a lot of football, has he? I think that's down to whether he's match fit or not. We don't know. We don't know. And we had three fullbacks on the bench again this week, which to me is mental. But of course, we don't have much choice, do we?
No. Well, I to be fair, I think he did all right, Richie, when he came on, but I still don't want to see him on the pitch anymore. I think, you know, we need to start moving away from these players. But the fact we are having to bring on, you know, Richie just shows how far we've dropped. Although I keep slagging him off, but every time I've seen him, he's not done anything wrong. Apart from Tranmere, he was awful at Tranmere. But since then, every time he's touched the pitch, he's not actually been that bad. He was even okay against Wednesday, to be fair. I got the stats up as well. Not too bad. We're at 2.05 xG to Liverpool's 2.37. So on paper, this is a 2-2 game. I think we missed a lot of easy chances.
Well, the set piece were much better today, weren't they? Much better.
Yeah, Dan Burn hitting the crossbar. That was very unfortunate.
And that Fabian Schär header, which kind of skewed left instead of straight.
Well, there are a couple of situations where we were winning the first header and it would either go from the back post to the front or the front post to the back, and there was nobody there. Whether that was because we were a man short or whether we just weren't set up correctly, I'm not sure. But set pieces were slightly improved. Again, Trippier's delivery was a little bit poor again today, unfortunately. Yeah, that Burn header was a 0.17 xG. What was Wilson's? Oh, Wilson's was 0.46. So you should score that every other one of them. Basically, you got a 50% chance of scoring that one.
He was trying to go back to where Alisson had come from, but Alisson's just so clever. I thought Alisson had a great game today for them, by the way. I thought he showed exactly what a great keeper does. It was superb. Oh, someone's putting caps here. Can fans please agree with me now? Longstaff, he's absolutely awful. Sean, you're having a mare there, mate.
What was wrong with Longstaff's performance today? I don't think he's the reason we lost. He was a monster in midfield at times, actually, I thought.
I thought he actually did more than Joe Linton today. Joe Linton was very quiet for most of the game, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think Longstaff actually did a little bit more than Joe Linton, which is... Yeah, so Longstaff with a 91% pass accuracy. 3 out of 3 accurate long balls. It's not too bad. 4 ball recoveries. He was solid. He was all right. Lots of ground duels. 7 out of 11 ground duels. He looked good on the eye to me, and he looks good in the stats. So I'm not sure what game you're watching, but I mean, if you've got reasons, put it down in the chat and we can have a look. But I can't remember him doing that much wrong. I think he lost the ball a couple of times, but I think everybody did really.
Let's get rid of that banner. I don't like seeing it anymore. Enough of that shite for 1 week. Right, so tomorrow night we've got a review show, or tomorrow afternoon. I don't know when it is, but sometime tomorrow, where myself, Alex, and Paul will be more thorough with this debacle for 93 minutes. But we can come away with that, even though we've lost at home and we've lost our unbeaten run. with a lot of kind of heart and positivity. Actually, I think, strange enough,
I feel confident. I know it sounds strange, but I feel positive. The
I'm the
heart
same.
and desire showed from all the lads going into the Wembley game. I'm feeling better than I thought. You know, that they will want to right that wrong, and they looked disappointed. They look really disappointed. And I love that. I love that. That is how high our standards are now. We get
Yeah.
to the full time whistle, and Eddie Howe walks on the pitch shaking his head. He's distraught. Two losses all season. Second loss of the entire season, and everybody, Longstaff and Dan Burns, stood there at full time, just looking at the floor, dejected because they've tried so hard. They don't want to lose. For us to be seeing that after the second defeat of the entire season. I mean, we're in middle of February. We've only lost twice. That's mental.
Yeah.
That is insane. So yeah, the standards are incredible. I don't know. We'll talk about it more obviously tomorrow, but I feel quite positive. Bruno's
Me
back
too.
as well.
Absolutely. We will have Bruno back in the middle for next week. So until tomorrow night, myself and Alex will bid you farewell. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Drown your sorrows if you have to. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah, drink responsibly. We'll see you tomorrow. And we've got lots of shows coming up in the week too. So from myself and Alex, away the lads and lasses, see you soon.